Come on, come here, bud. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice, ice, ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Nope. Now if you gotta know the truth, was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Feet eye off the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you was really was part your life. Basic bullets, with no bullets. Does your wifey know you're begging for my nudies? Promise you're the same, running for the meds. Show you like my vibe, pass my candy on my wrist. Bad habits, little rabbit. Now sit down, you can have it. I see it when you walk my way. Nice big bed, come and play with me. Freak it dog, freak it dog. Got a whole lot of love for my dog. I see it when you walk my way. Nice big bed, come and play.
How do they have who your daughter is wrong?
She was so, I'm going to cry again. She was so little that it's hard because she is like a young teenager who's going through, teenage challenge stuff. And that's how she's being judged against. And that's not who she is. And we judged on who you are based on the challenges that you're going through. So it's kind of unfair.
When you say challenges that you're going through, help us understand what that means.
So like situations at school, right, with other kids who are not kind, not kind to her or not kind to her friends or people she loves. She would always kind of insert herself into those situations to defend her friends, and rightfully so. I mean, we all want friends to do that for us, but then sometimes she would get in trouble for inserting herself into their situations and stuff. So we would kind of talk through those and it's not that she's not right. It's just you got to follow the chain of command, the proper protocol to get things done and stuff. So she was just so little. She's just kind of learning how to be effective in those situations.
Am I a perfect parent? No. No one is. No one is.
But she wasn't a bad kid. She didn't really need to be disciplined a whole lot. Her worst is her mouth.
Behavior and the need for administration to take action. I have been asking for help with her all year. I would like her removed from my room as I am no longer comfortable with being verbally attacked in front of students and being videotaped while it's happening. Now, I can tell you that teachers deal with a hell of a lot in a classroom these days. And what this is clearly saying is this teacher is so uncomfortable with the way that Mackenzie is behaving in their class that they want Mackenzie to be removed from the class. This is a big ask. This, in my opinion, means that whatever behavior Mackenzie was demonstrating was just out. Mackenzie allegedly said to another student, "If I were a slave owner, I would have killed," name redacted by the school. This statement was made in addition to other comments made at lunch about the student. Although Mackenzie reportedly denied making this statement, at least 3 witnesses claim they heard her. Okay, so now Mackenzie is also throwing around racist remarks and racial slurs, as you're going to see. Okay, this next event, the date was cut off, but it was on 6/6/2018. An unidentified student reported that Mackenzie airdropped a meme of SpongeBob saying, "I spy an N-word," to name is redacted by the school. Upon being questioned, Mackenzie stated that she was airdropped the meme, but deleted it. She then changed her story a few minutes later, stating that she never did receive such a meme. This became just cause for emergency removal. The meme was reportedly seen on the phone and directly attributed to Mackenzie.
Oh boy, guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, whoa, there's so much to talk about tonight. And I have some questions for you guys. I've been reading what was going on in chat there. And, Julie, I saw one of your comments went down. Sometimes StreamYard and or YouTube will do that automatically. It's not necessarily us. And then I took one of them down because you said another channel is live talking about something juicy. And I have a hard time with lives anyway, because I don't do them so often. And I'm so excited when you guys are here, and I've been trying to grow them. So, I don't want any of you guys to leave. You're all precious. Thank you so much for being here. So I want to know what it is you're talking about, because I don't have a clue and I couldn't figure it out. But welcome, welcome, welcome. First of all, happy Friday. And my girls, and my Kevin and my Edward, if you're here, my mods, can I just get a sound check? Is the sound okay? Last live stream, I was like talking too close to the mic, and every time I took a breath, it was like, it sounded like I was having an asthma attack. I don't want to do that to you guys. So let me know. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm not going to read the comments for a moment, because you guys are having some hot chat there. We're going to be talking about Mackenzie Shirilla tonight, obviously, and so much has been going on with this case. You guys in the channel community here, new viewers, OGs, everybody who has been watching these videos on this channel, and all around YouTube and wherever you're getting your content, and commenting on what has been going on. You are all so super freaking insightful. I'm enjoying reading your comments so much. And on this channel, because I'm a behavioral therapist and I work with a population of students that includes, okay, guys, seriously, no one is like Mackenzie Shirilla for real, right? But in the population of students I work with, more than anybody else in the world, I work with the Mackenzie Shirillas of the world at the age she was at the relevant time when we're examining her life in the years leading up to the crash, which happened when she was 17, just 2 days shy of 18 years old, on July 31st, 2022. Did I get that date right? Yeah, I'm sorry. There's a lot of dates here. Okay. I'm so sorry. I don't want to get that date wrong. And I just want to say, Dominic and Davian, you were such promising, bright, strapping young men. And I know you would have made a difference in this world, and your families lost so much. So rest in peace, guys. And we just wish those families so much peace. I can't imagine losing a child. It's the worst thing in the world, right? Is to lose a child. Everybody says that. I can't even go there mentally. And to lose a child at that age and that way, it's just absolutely horrific. So I'm sorry, I'm digressing a little bit. What we're going to talk about specifically tonight is, well, first of all, what is going on in the court system with Mackenzie Shirilla in this case, because that is a whole separate issue, it seems, and in my mind it is, than everything else that's being talked about having to do with this case, because, well, we're going to get there. I view it much differently than I view Mackenzie herself, her interactions with her parents, the family dynamics, and all of that. Okay, that was the moderator. Somebody just texted me. And then we are also going to talk about the most recent interviews with, well, specifically Natalie Shirilla. Over the past few videos and live streams, we have been looking at the family dynamics, things that Steve and Natalie have had to say, comparing it to what we know to be true, and Mackenzie's own words and her own behaviors, and also the behavioral and mental health records from Mackenzie Shirilla's high school, which are very telling. And I still don't hear a lot of channels talking about these records. And I just cannot believe it, because they are absolutely central to this story. And the way it is unfolding now is we as a society and a true crime community are trying to understand how the fuck this happened. What kind of a person is Mackenzie anyway? Why were these two beautiful young lives lost? What the heck is going on in this family? And also, in my opinion, in our justice system as it pertains to this case. So, all right, that was a mouthful. So welcome to everybody who's here. I have been reading all of your comments. Again, they're so great. I'm so glad you guys are here. If you're new to the channel, please say hello. Let us know where you're coming from. We totally want you to be part of the conversation. The only thing we ask on this channel is that you're honest. You can speak your mind all you want. Please just be respectful to the victims and their family members. I mean, people, you can be a little snotty with each other every now and then. Just don't be an asshole. And we're all good, okay? So, Julie, somebody in chat, can you fill me in? What is it that you were talking about that you were saying, Julie? Another channel was speculating that some rumor was started by Mackenzie's parents. Can anyone brief me on that in chat? Or even if a mod wants to come up, I will drop the link just for a mod only right now, just for a brief summary. And if we can't figure it out right now, that's okay. But I don't ever get tea unless I'm out there researching it. I just really want to know what you guys were talking about because it sounded pretty interesting and relevant, perhaps. Oh, you know something I do want to say. In the title of this video, I think I ended up calling it Mackenzie Shirilla, Mom's Big Interview Cracked the Shirilla Code, Statement and Behavioral Analysis. And I do not mean the freaking Carney language, whatever that is. I watched a video by Annie Elise, 10 to Life earlier, and I'm just going to let you know, a lot of you know this, I'm not a huge fan of her for some reason. I know she is like the most successful true crime podcaster out there, and that is amazing for her. The way she delivers information, for me, it like agitates me or something. But I was like, oh my gosh, Annie Elise is saying that she translated all the Carney talk that was heard in the prison videos and, you know, anywhere where there's audio of Mackenzie and her mother speaking this Carney talk. I was so interested to hear like what the analysis was. And I believe the person who was translating it really knew what she was talking about. She's also an attorney. And guys, it was so freaking boring. It was nothing of substance. It wasn't like they were speaking to one another in this Carney talk because they were saying something that was, you know, really, you know, compelling or riveting or, you know, pivotal to the case. And they didn't want anyone to hear. They were just being like catty little bitches, basically. So that was a kind of disappointing. I was hoping that when, you know, I've heard people roughly translate it, but I was hoping when somebody who really knows the native Carney talk language was able to translate it for us, we were going to learn something new, but it was awful. It was just nothing. It was just the petty gossip. Natalie was born in a carnival, I guess, right? Oh my God. Macker says, I truly think her parents are relieved she's in prison. They don't have to deal with her tantrums anymore. You know, and in a way, I agree with you. They might be. They might be. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so nobody can clue me in on what that tea was. That's all right. No worries. Or maybe I'm just not seeing it. So, well, welcome to everybody who's coming in. I am so glad you guys are here. Hey, Alyssa, how are you doing? You started watching that 20 minutes in. Yeah, I know. It was so super dry, right? Oh, I thought it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be good because in the beginning, I didn't even know that Annie Elise does this. Because like I said, you know, I have nothing against her. She's super successful. I admire her in a number of ways. She's so good at what she does, you know, on like a global scale. It's just for some reason, some people don't like my content. They tell me all about it. Read my comments, honey. Oh, it's definitely true. And maybe it's you and that's okay. I don't usually watch her content, but she was saying that normally on the day that she presented that information, they do something every week that seems like it's a big deal for her new podcast. And, oh, but we're not going to do that today because we're going to dedicate the whole show to translating this Carney talk. And I was like, oh, damn, this has got to be good. And it was a real letdown. So we'll save you guys 40 minutes if you haven't watched it yet. All right. Okay, so just give me 1 second here. I'm just going to play that little video I played in the beginning as I load something else up, and then we are going to get rolling for reals.
How do they have who your daughter is wrong?
She was so, I'm going to cry again. She was so little that it's hard because she is like a young teenager who's going through, you know, teenage challenge stuff. And that's how she's being judged against. And that's not who she is. And we judged on who you are based on the challenges that you're going through. So it's kind of unfair.
When you say challenges that you're going through, help us understand what that means.
So like situations at school, right, with other kids who are not kind, you know, not kind to her or not kind to her friends or people she loves. She would always kind of insert herself into those situations to defend her friends, and rightfully so. I mean, we all want friends to do that for us, but then sometimes she would get in trouble for inserting herself into their situations and stuff. So we would kind of talk through those, and it's not that she's not right. It's just you got to follow the chain of command, the proper protocol to get things done and stuff. So she was just so little. She's just kind of learning how to be effective in those situations.
Am I a perfect parent? No. No one is. No one is.
But she wasn't a bad kid. She didn't really need to be disciplined a whole lot. Her worst is her mouth.
Behavior and the need for administration to take action. I have been asking for help with her all year. I would like her removed from my room as I am no longer comfortable with being verbally attacked in front of students and being videotaped while it's happening. Now, I can tell you that teachers deal with a hell of a lot in a classroom these days. And what this is clearly saying is this teacher is so uncomfortable with the way that Mackenzie is behaving in their class that they want Mackenzie to be removed from the class. This is a big ask. This, in my opinion, means that whatever behavior Mackenzie was demonstrating was just outrageous. Mackenzie allegedly said to another student, "If I were a slave owner, I would have killed," name redacted by the school. This statement was made in addition to other comments made at lunch about the student. Although Mackenzie reportedly denied making the statement, at least 3 witnesses claim they heard her. Okay, so now Mackenzie is also throwing around racist remarks and racial slurs, as you're going to see. Okay, this next event, the date was cut off, but it was on 6/6/2018. An unidentified student reported that Mackenzie airdropped a meme of SpongeBob saying, "I spy an N-word," to name is redacted by the school. Upon being questioned, Mackenzie stated that she was airdropped the meme, but deleted it. She then changed her story a few minutes later, stating that she never did receive such a meme. This became just cause for emergency removal. The meme was reportedly seen on the phone and directly attributed to Mackenzie.
Of course, it ends as soon as I'm taking a sip of my Coca-Cola. I love my Coca-Cola. Are you guys like Pepsi people or Coca-Cola people? Put a 1, well, just write Pepsi or Coca-Cola. We don't have to be lazy like that. I'm Coca-Cola all the way. I've always felt like Pepsi to me tastes like what Windex to me smells like. When I was young, my mom is a compulsive cleaner, OCD, that's all we're going to say about my mama. Mama, I love her. She's a good grandma. She's a great grandma, okay? She used a lot of Windex when I was little. We're just going to say that. And my parents also bought Pepsi. And I don't know if if I melded the two together in my sensory mind, but I just can't. So are you Coke or Pepsi people? Come on, do tell. And if you're just like, I don't drink soda. Well, I mean, if it's a health reason, I understand, but I don't drink soda. I only drink organic tea. That's cool, but try Coca-Cola every now and then. It's kind of fun. Oh, you got Diet Pepsi. Oh, that's the worst. It's saccharin Windex. It's so funny how people really have a preference for that. Oh my God, I love Mountain Dew too. I love Mountain Dew. I have this idea that Mountain Dew is like so bad for you. And hey, listen, I have been a vegetarian my whole life. I've been a health conscious person, but I've also put some pretty destructive things into my body. And still, Mountain Dew is at like the top of the list. I've always been like afraid of it, but I love it. It's like such a great taste. Such a horrible color to drink, to put in your body, right? Diet Mountain Dew. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so I got that the tea was that apparently, and thank you for letting me know that Mackenzie was jumped by 2 other inmates in prison today. Well, that was just a matter of time, honey, right? That was a matter of time. I mean, I think that Mackenzie has been getting along just fine up to this point, because there's people in prison along with her that play her games, and there's people that don't. And Mackenzie's way of getting through life is to ignite the fear and people that care about her by exerting her control through making threats And oftentimes they rise to the level of being wildly aggressive and hateful. And, I think in jail that can work for some people for a certain amount of time. But for this skinny little bug-eyed beanpole, probably not too long. So I'm going to be really interested to hear if that was true, what happened. And I certainly do not wish her harm. Absolutely not. I mean, jail must be so scary and so hard for prison, for just about anybody. I think Chris Watts is like a pig in shit in prison personally, but I don't wish her harm. And I do hope that she is rehabilitated in a meaningful way in prison. But Honey Bun and I have talked about this extensively. Statistically, how few, the vast, embarrassing minority of people who go to prison. The whole idea is supposed to be a rehabilitation system for our society, right? You do wrong against society according to our agreed upon rules. You go to prison, you follow these structured, way of living, a restricted way of living. Your rights as a citizen are rescinded in many ways. You're taken out of society. And in this time, ideally, all systems of democratic justice, central to them are rehabilitation. And that happens with a fraction of a percent of people who go through our justice system who are housed in prisons for, a felony conviction. It's really super sad. And I think Mackenzie's chance of being rehabilitated while she's in prison she is in the lowest percentile. She's said herself many times, I don't need rehabilitation. I don't need therapy. I don't need counseling. I don't need to change anything about myself, about the way I'm thinking. I didn't do anything wrong, right? And we know that all of that thinking, that really self-defeating, delusional thinking, I think comes from two places. Number one, I think that, nature versus nurture. I think naturally, Mackenzie Shirilla, and I do believe this happens in people other than just psychopaths. They say the difference between psychopathology and sociopathology is that those that we call psychopaths are born psychopaths, and sociopaths are often created, right, through whatever happens in their life. But I think that people with pathological tendencies other than psychopaths are born that way, and they're going to be that way. That is my belief. There is plenty of evidence-based data and studies that support that, and there's some that don't, but that's my belief. But I do think Mackenzie is likely one of those people, but we also know that a lot of her maladaptive thinking and behavior is due to the way she was raised. So, before we go into the family dynamics and listen to Natalie, and I am not kidding. I think we have cracked the code. I am going to explain it all to you as we go on. I know this is kind of a long intro, but I'm excited to see you guys and read your comments. We just have to update everybody here on what is going on with Mackenzie Shirilla's case in the justice system. Oh, guys, it's the graduation night for my local high school here, and things are a little crazy out there. I just heard there's like cars going by, kids screaming obscenities and stuff. So it's not my child. It's not me and my, it's none of my bunnies. It's just what's going on in the background. So Mackenzie Shirilla, as we know, was convicted on all counts, including 2 counts of murder. That's intentional murder. By a judge, as she and her counsel apparently chose a bench trial over a jury trial, and there's a lot to say about that. So she had her chance at appeals like anyone else who's convicted of crimes. And after, in my opinion, her trial attorney did such a horrific, disgraceful job, I guess, of defending her in the trial, her different appellate attorneys lost her final and only appeal because they filed it 1 day late. You guys probably all know this, so I'm not going to perseverate on it. And they blamed it on being a leap year. I mean, guys, that I can't even believe it. I wish my dad was alive. My dad was a lifelong attorney. Stuff like this pissed him off so bad. Oh God, I've heard him go off on people, including myself, for things like that. But lawyers that work for him, like if you can't even file a deadline out, like you're fired, you're gone. Like that's like, it's basic, right? When I went to law school, for those of you who don't know that, I got halfway through on a full scholarship. I dropped out like a dumbass. I really wish I finished it now, but it was hard. Let me tell you, it's probably the hardest thing I ever did. But I was kind of like, I went from law school to being a yoga teacher. I was like, I just want to stretch my body. Don't think I believe in all that structure and justice system. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I can tell you that the hardest professor who was the head of the law school at the time I was there was psycho, Charles Sullivan. He was my contracts teacher, the first teacher I had, the first class that I walked in to when I went to law school. And he was a real hard ass. I was terrified of him. Everybody was terrified of him. And he was like so strict about deadlines. So as the year progressed anyway, towards the end, when he softened up a little, he explained to us exactly why he's like that. He's like, I know that I'm so strict with deadlines. It's almost a little bit ridiculous, but let me tell you this story. And I bet if he knows about this case, he's telling his contracts 101 class about this right now. When the rules are, you have 365 days to file an appeal. It does not mean one calendar year from today. It means 365 fucking days. I don't care if it's a leap year or the Olympics are going on or whatever. Like that's what it is. And it's critical. And if you miss it, you lose it. So the fact that her trial attorney was so horrible and that her appellate attorneys failed her in that way is absolutely insane. So she sent up an appeal to the Ohio State Supreme Court, which is her last stop, unless the United States Supreme Court is going to, have anything to say about the Mackenzie Shirilla case. And I don't know if they're up for that. Okay. So this is pretty terminal. This must have been really hard news for her and her family. I don't know if either of them actually fully understand the ramifications, but I think they're starting to. Well, the Ohio State Supreme Court declined even hearing the case. So they're like, it's not going to come before us. It's not a matter for us to review. So sorry, your trial attorney sucked. Your appellate attorneys really fucking sucked. And they should probably lose their law licenses, in my opinion. I'm sure the opinion of many others. But we're not going to hear your case. So all of that background to let you know that this is the foreground of the interview that we're going to listen to a lot of between my favorite reporter, Chris Cuomo, and mom, Natalie Shirilla. This is from 3 days ago. And we're going to be adding a lot to this interview. And I have a whole binder of topics we're going to discuss having to do with cognitive behavioral analysis, mental health issues, and identifying signs of crisis within individuals or family units or other systems of people before those who are spiraling into crisis end up actually being in a state of complete tragedy, like we found Mackenzie and clearly Dominic and Davian. This is it. This is a case to talk about because of the lessons that are so available for us as human beings as we kind of work through all this shit. All right, so let me bring in the interview. Oh, hey, guess what? Today was my last day of work. I have 2.5 months off. I've never literally taken a summer off before. I'm kind of scared. There's going to be a lot of YouTube going on. But I really needed it. I desperately needed it. So, yay, happy summer. What are you guys doing this summer? Are you guys doing anything scary this summer? That's kind of pushing your boundaries, not working? Let me know. I want to hear all about it.
We still don't know why Mackenzie Shirilla decided to try fill in the blank, to kill herself, to kill her boyfriend, to kill her boyfriend and herself, to kill her boyfriend and one of her closest friends. What was this about? What do we know? Wild child, reckless, bully in school, crazy in love, fatal attraction, all of these different disparaging identifications about the nature of the dynamic. But do we know why this happened? The prosecution says, yeah, we do. She wanted to kill them. But doesn't that mean she wanted to kill herself? Is there anything about this that reasonably would make you believe that she only wanted to kill them? Right? So she'd have to be suicidal. I believe that this is the fatal flaw of this case. And it falls ultimately on Mackenzie Shirilla, personally, because she says she doesn't remember anything, but also by proxy because it's her counsel that didn't argue diminished capacity from the THC, which everybody knew was in her system in very significant levels. And there was some doubt about the sample and how it was preserved by the hospital, which only would have helped fuel reasonable doubt because you could have made assumptions off of it that would have been hard to counter. And there was never any explanation of this POTS that was found to be satisfying by the judge. Whereas when you talk to the parents, you get a very different story. If only to understand why bench trial, why no diminished capacity, why'd you leave the THC alone? Why didn't she testify? Why hasn't she been hypnotized to try to recall it? There's a lot going on in addition to what would be valuable to the ongoing dialogue about this.
Okay, now I want to say one of the reasons I wanted to watch a lot of this interview, including what Chris Cuomo has to say, not only is he my former boyfriend, but he's also, I think he's a really good attorney. I think he's a good legal analyst. And as we go through this interview, he explained a lot of what happened in Mackenzie's first trial, the trial level, and the whole procedure working up to her trial. And then also what happened through the appellate process to Natalie, her mom. And guys, let me know what you think about this. I feel for Natalie in this interview, and I do feel for Mackenzie in the sense that she deserves justice just like the rest of us. And I firmly believe, and I hope you do too, if I ever want justice, if I ever want for you to have justice, if I want your rights respected when you need them to be, or mine, that better be available for Mackenzie and Chris Watts and, just whoever the fuck else. Luigi Mangione. I don't know. I just popped in my head. Wade Wilson. Can I get a Stefan Stearns? Oh, that's a hard one. But yeah, I mean, the system should be there for him, strong, ready to defend, fervently, but sometimes you can't just defend a bastard like Stefan Stearns, but you should get the shot. And Mackenzie, the justice system, I think, failed her. And that doesn't mean I don't think that she should be in prison, because I absolutely think she should be. At the same time, the justice system failed her. And that's really tough. That is really that's uncomfortable. That is not something we should be okay with existing. If somebody is put in prison, especially for as long, possibly your entire life, we as a society should feel solid on that. Okay, we might not agree on what the outcome should have been, guilt or innocence or acquittal, or, however, but we should agree that the process put that person there, and we stand behind that. We feel strong on that. And I think very few people can say that about Mackenzie Shirilla's situation now. And that is no bueno. That is not good. That is the justice system failing. And guess what? Thanks to the nature of this case, and, those of us who love true crime and Netflix and The Crash, the whole world is watching justice fail this young person. And as much as we might not like her, I hope that most of the people who know what's going on here feel uncomfortable about it. And if you don't, if you think it's she's had her chance at justice, she's been properly defended, I can respect that too. And I'm sure there is an argument for that for sure. But this is just a big deal. So it became clear to me as I was watching this that mom and dad and Mackenzie, have been going through this whole process blindly. They were not being led knowledgeably by their trial attorney or the appellate attorneys. And I think that's really messed up. And I'm glad that that aspect of this case is also coming to light.
Case, which is what? Who is she? What's she about? So when I interviewed Steve Shirilla, there was a voice off camera chiding him, giving him direction, filling in facts for him. It was his wife, Natalie. Now, I did not exclude Natalie from the conversation. A lot of you have accused me of mansplaining, and I only wanted to talk to the guy. That's not the case. So Natalie Shirilla joins us right now to give us new and certainly in everything I've reviewed, fresh perspective on what happened before that night, what happened during the trial, and what has happened since. And it is important perspective, if only to have a better understanding of what the possibilities are here about why this happened. And of course, a little bit of an understanding of what's going to happen next. Here's Natalie Shirilla, mother of Mackenzie Shirilla. Natalie Shirilla, thank you very much for taking the opportunity to join us.
Thank you for having me.
Let me just clear something up here, because you know how in this space, everybody's got a conspiracy theory. Just to be clear, when I was interviewing your husband, you were in the background paying attention. Just to be clear, you've always been invited. I didn't box you out or just want your husband to speak for you or anything like that. Can you just assure people in the audience of that?
No, I knew that. I wasn't camera ready, so I wasn't sure if I didn't know if that was like his thing, or I knew that I could always come on, but I was not camera ready at all.
People picked up on the fact that, look, you have an excellent grasp of what's going on. Obviously, emotionally, you're incredibly conflicted because this is your daughter. But I had a number of people say to me, oh, so she can't speak? Only the husband, only man to man? And that couldn't be less the case. So I am very happy to have you here and be giving you the opportunity, this platform. And what I think is really interesting here is that you believe that people have a fundamental misunderstanding, not just of how this case went, but who your daughter is. Do I have that right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's start with the first one. How do they have who your daughter is wrong?
It's
okay. And I just want to say that I'm gonna let Natalie talk. Bitch wants to talk. We're gonna let her talk. Don't you worry. Hand the bitch the mic. I don't think she's a bitch. I actually think she's a very nice person. I think she's a little bit naive. I have this whole personality profile about her, but I don't know if we want to talk about that today. But when Chris says, you know, how did everybody get it wrong? What do they have wrong about Mackenzie? They have this impression of her. How did they get it wrong? What she is telling us everybody else got wrong about Mackenzie, I feel is what is going wrong in her mind is she views her own daughter and built a relationship upon it. But just keep that in mind. We're going to get more into that. Okay, I got to let her talk. I'm talking too much tonight. Shut up, Kelly. All right.
The best way I can describe it is like, would you want to be judged on, one, your worst moments, two, challenges that you were dealing with in your life, you know, situations that you were trying to learn how to navigate at a super, super young age and not really sure how to do it or if you're even doing it right, and maybe stumbling through things. No, you know, life is full of all kinds of challenges and everything. And you surround yourself with good people that can help you get through those things. And then hopefully you grow through those moments and figure out how to do better and be better next time. But she was so, I'm going to cry again. She was so little that it's hard because she is like a young teenager who's going through, you know, teenage challenge stuff. And that's how she's being judged against. And that's not who she is. And
Okay, I have to stop Natalie at this point. Oh, God. Mom, Natalie says, because she is so little. She was so little. She's going through the little girl things with her, playing with My Little Ponies and pigtails and such. No. See, and this is where I see Natalie Shirilla is being very manipulative. Although I think there is a degree of naivete and also a quality of failure on your report card at responsible parenting, for sure. I don't think that Natalie really believes she's so little. She was so little, going through the little girl stuff. I don't think she thinks that at all. Natalie Shirilla might be naive, and she might be a egregiously irresponsible parent, okay? I think she loves her children. I think she's a loving parent. She's an egregiously responsible, sucks at actually parenting parent. Sucks. I don't think she's stupid. And I don't think that she sees Mackenzie that way, because to truly see Mackenzie as she was such a little girl going through little girl things is so far away from reality. It's not even like cognitive dissonance where, your view of reality does not match up with objective reality, as however that's defined, right? But as can best be defined, that couldn't possibly even explain it. Natalie is doing a couple things here, and the question for me is, in what proportion? Okay, Natalie is lying to herself. She is, yes, she is, for sure. She's lying to herself, but again, she's not fucking stupid. She's also lying to her daughter, which is really the most problematic part of it all. And Steve does this too. Father does this too. Lying to Mackenzie about reality and about Mackenzie's reality and about who Mackenzie is. And this is where I start to feel really bad for Mackenzie. When, again, I'm a behavioral therapist. I work with this year, I had 162 teenagers that I worked with who all needed, the services that I can provide them, and a lot out and a whole lot else. And I hope I gave them my best, and that my organization did. And every year, at this time of year, like when I think back about how much they've grown in 4 years or a year, however long I've known them, it always brings tears to my eyes. It's why I go back every year. It's so important. I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the glory, and I don't do it for the vacation time. Well, this year I do, because I have this summer off. But I feel like I have, this is what I have to be doing. It's meaningful to me because they're young people. Life is hard. We all know this. We need each other so badly. And so many young people need support so badly. And Mackenzie is one of them. And her parents, who I do believe love her, are lying to her about the nature of reality, life itself, and who she is. So imagine already being a kind of, like I said, I believe that she is, inherently a little messed up. I do believe that. I believe she tends towards pathologies. And I do believe that about people, like I was saying earlier. And then you're just being a teenager, and that's so hard. I always tell my teens, listen, I wouldn't want to be a teenager again for all the money in the world. And that's a lie, by the way. I would totally do it for all the money in the world. But I just tell them that because they kind of laugh and they get it, like how hard I understand it is to be a teenager. Because if you want to relate to them, they have to know that you understand that what they're going through every day is fucking hard. And it is. And then for your parents to lie to you about all of this, Mackenzie must have been completely confused every moment of her life if her parents parented all along in a way that it all resembles how we see them parenting her now. So again, back to my question with Natalie and Steve. They're lying to themselves, they're lying to Mackenzie, and they are clearly lying to the public. And it is all lying to themselves is for the sake of, comfort, self-soothing, being able to deal. Lying to Mackenzie and lying to the public
are completely self-serving and they're complete manipulation tactics that do not need to exist. And quite honestly, they're weak. And they're no excuse. So in what proportion are they telling those lies? Is it mostly because they have to lie themselves? Because they have to lie to Mackenzie because she's just too fucking much? Or because they have to lie to us now because saving face in this way is just so important? Sometimes to me, it seems like it matters more to them than anything else, really. Certainly than Dominic or Davian's lives, than what their daughter's life is going to be like from here on out. And that always really irks me. But again, I'm talking too much. Shut up, Kelly. All right, back to Natalie.
Judged on who you are based on the challenges that you're going through. So it's kind of unfair.
When you say challenges that you're going through, help us understand what that means.
So like situations at school, right, with other kids who are not kind, not kind to her or not kind to her friends or people she loves. She would always kind of insert herself into those situations to defend her friends, and rightfully so. I mean, we all want friends to do that for us, but then sometimes she would get in trouble for inserting herself into their situations and stuff. So we would kind of talk through those and,
Okay, now this is something that I went over in another video, and I think many of you watched it. I don't think that you necessarily need to watch it again, but something that I pointed out is I listened to Steve and Natalie's interviews. They have this whole, let me see if I can pick it up in this here. Just give me one sec.
MO. They weren't fighting. This wasn't a volatile relationship. They were never ever going to break up. They were talking about getting married. They were talking about a life. They were buying furniture for that house. They were.
Okay, I'm going to scoot a little further forward here.
That is just lies, and it's a lie. I can't even. It's frustrating to hear.
Something I found very interesting here is a common thread in the narrative of both mom and dad when they're talking about sweet baby precious pie Mackenzie. Let me know if you hear it too. Now, what mom has to say is not so different when she was interviewed on the JFK show. Listen to what she has to say when she's asked, now, with everything having happened, here we are in 2026 and you're looking at the whole picture. Do you think Mackenzie has anything going on, like mentally?
There was a lot of fisticuffs with teachers and whatnot. And she would stand up for her friend or herself and not back down from that. So there was a little fisticuffs with teachers that way.
She wasn't a bully. She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for her friends. Period. That's it.
So you see what those two do here?
She would stand up for her friend or herself and not back down from that. So there was a little fisticuffs with teachers that way.
She wasn't a bully. She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for her friends.
When the Shirillas are called out on the carpet about Mackenzie's negative behavior, the fisticuffs with teachers, whatever that means, fisticuffs means a physical fight. So I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm sure she caused her teachers quite a bit of trouble. Or when Mackenzie is called a bully, both of them say the same thing nearly verbatim. She would stand up for herself. She would stand up for her friends. She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for her friends.
She would stand up for her friend or herself.
She stuck up for herself. She stuck up for her friends.
Justifying the poor behavior by implying that Mackenzie was standing some high moral ground. When it needed to be done, she would stand up for herself and she would stand up for her friends. Although there is really no evidence externally supporting this, that Mackenzie would stand up for herself in a righteous way or stand up for others benevolently. Okay, so that same theme that I was talking about in that last video, Natalie picks right back up on in this most recent interview from 2.5 or 3 days ago with Chris Cuomo. Yeah, she had some challenges, but it
those challenges there because she was, she'd be standing up for herself or her friends, and then she follows up by saying, and that's a good thing to do. That's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to stand up for your friends. But her challenges are because she's this good person, and she's gonna stand up for herself and stand up for her friends. And fisticuffs with teachers, what the fuck? Fisticuff with teachers where I work, it's a pretty rough place. Okay, if you're like, if you are being educated where I work, you're being educated. I mean, we're wonderful, of course, but you've gone through it to get there. Okay, let's just say it like that. And still, fisticuffs with teachers is an extended suspension leading straight away to an expulsion, not coming back. It's not acceptable in public, private, or service provider education, like what I do. But no, some fisticuff with teachers, but we're not going to go any further into that. I wish somebody said, what the fuck does fisticuffs mean? Did she beat one of her teachers, for Christ's sake? Oh God, I had a student get expelled would be I just conjugated that word. Because they bit me. I mean, they attacked me and they bit me. They first physically attacked me with their fists and other things, but then they went Hannibal Lecter on me. That's I didn't mean that as a joke. I should probably cut that out. It was scary, okay? It was really scary. I've never had someone come at me with their mouth to harm me like that. And it really was scary, okay? It wasn't a pit bull. It was a child. That's all I'm going to say. No more descriptors. And it was really scary. But anyway, we just don't a lot in our education system. So anyway, regardless of what the question is asked, what are Mackenzie's problems, challenges? Tell us specifically some stories. What did she go through? Oh, the fisticuffs, blah, blah, blah. But because she was standing up for herself and her friends. And the bullshit. And that's what I'm saying. Natalie is lying to us. She's lying to herself, and she's lying to Mackenzie. Worst of all, why? Because I don't believe she's that stupid. What do you think? Oh, hey, Guilty of Crime. Thanks for coming by. I love you so much. I saw a couple of your shows, and you are awesome. If you guys haven't checked out Guilty of Crime, Jay, she's amazing. She came into my feed one time, and I just started watching her. I had no idea who she was. Her channel's brand new, and I just loved her energy so much. She just became one of my faves, and she still is. I want to get in touch with you because if you haven't heard, I have the summer off. I'm going to be doing lots of YouTubing, and I have 3 very specific ideas of shows I'd really like to do with you. So please, let's get in touch next week or something. All right. Back to Natalie Shirilla. Shut up, Kelly. You're talking too much.
She's not right. It's just you got to follow the chain of command.
No, she's not right, Mom. And then she's like, it's not that she's not right. It's just she has a little hard time with rules. So she's got to know to follow the chain of command. But I'm still going to leave room for the possibility that my fucking bratty ass personality disorder, spoiled brat, not raised responsibly, allowed to, get on fans only and let people fuck her feet daughter. But she still might be right. But still, she's just got to deal with the authority. But she's probably right. So problematic, so dysfunctional, so ill. This is a disease within a family system. Horrible. Oh, God, these people, I feel a lot about them because I can't stand what they have done and what they're doing. Because like I said, the manipulation to me is really disgusting. But I feel so bad for them too. They cause me to have a lot of emotion. Don't like so much emotion.
The proper protocol to get things done and stuff. So she was just so little. She's just kind of learning how to be effective in those situations.
You know what I hate? Leaving a conversation thinking, oh, that was important. And then realizing later, is basically informed by this take. You're half right. She was involved in a lot of stuff at school and a lot of drama, but she was the bully. She was the aggressor, and the school told you that. And that's why people are right to feel how they feel. What do you make of that?
How can they possibly know that, first of all? And then sometimes there are some teachers at the school who...
Wait a minute. Hold it, Natalie. First of all, how do we know that? We know that because I got partially from a discovery that I believe is public. And then I requested the rest of it a lot. Cuff you, I have to send you those files. We haven't gone over the best of it yet. That's all I'm going to say, Cuff you. Get at me after this. I have a lot of good stuff to send you. And then I obtained the rest of it because this is in my wheelhouse and I knew how to do that. And it is all spelled out, honey. Why do people, how would they know she's a bully? They don't know her. They don't know my little girl. They don't know our family and our fisticuffs and our standing up for ourselves and our friends. How would people know that? Because it is a matter of official public record dictated by, federal education laws, with Ohio state education law, all kinds of shit. I've read the records. This is in my industry, my expertise, my profession, and they are legit. Your child is no doubt a bully and a very menacing, mean one at that. Really, really, really. I don't know, this generation, I don't know how many of you have teens, work with teens that have, trouble. Like we all have big trouble. I've had a lifetime of really yucky troubles that are just no one should have to deal with, right? They, for the most part, even the meanest ones, they're not racist. Like they don't do that. They don't talk to one another in a way that's racist. This has been my experience. Working in, I'm in a kind of rural area now. I also worked in New York City, worked in Philadelphia, wherever I am. They're just not like that. And I'm really proud of that generation for that. And, some of the things that are just really mean-spirited and hateful and just, words and sentiments that come out of Mackenzie's mouth and her being that are intended to cause violent harm to others, whether it be emotionally, mentally, physically, psychically, or otherwise. I even like teenagers that have the hardest lives and greatest maladaptive behavioral issues. I don't experience them to be like that often. And let me tell you, Mackenzie's behavioral and mental evaluation records from high school, it's all over the place. I was really very surprised. I was like, wow, she is one hate-filled teenager, at least from the way she expresses herself. To me, that's all I can interpret. And I would bet as you go over these with me in the next week or so, y'all have the same impression, trust me.
Like her strength and they like her spirit and they try to cultivate that and help her, guide her through doing it and communicating effectively to get that way. There are some teachers that super didn't. There's a lot of teachers that don't appreciate the strength in a child or a younger teenager, and they just want them to kind of fall in line. But there are some teachers that appreciated it. So it just really depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to a friend that she was sticking up for, then she may be a bully to the other person. It just depends on who you're talking to.
I understand. Right now, I'm talking to her mom, and what?
Yeah, I like how Chris does this interview. She's like, it just depends on who you're talking to. It might be the bully because she's sticking up for her friend. So in that case, she'd be the bully in the eyes of the person who is the enemy of her friend. But if she's in a fight with her friend and she's being a bully to her friend, then the enemy of her friend is not her friend. I don't know. Stick up for ourselves, stick up for our friends. All this bullshit that just drabbles out of their mouth is all with the intent of justifying Mackenzie's unacceptable behaviors. And, they should have been unacceptable, obviously, starting with the parents if they're around. And she should have been lucky to have both parents around. A lot of kids don't. Both parents that were, as far as I can tell, not like with like any, super out of control, like say addiction problems, which is something that's a huge problem today, or they kind of seemed like maybe they could have navigated life decently, at least as a human being and a parent. Mackenzie kind of should have been lucky like that, but she was not fucking lucky. I mean, like, what? Everything that comes out of their mouth is trying to justify all of the worst parts of her personality and all of the worst qualities she exhibits that a lot of people and kids, and especially teenagers, like to try out, because that's your job at a time in life, is to push the boundaries. And people around you, your parents, your guardians, authority figures, just people that aren't just like as like hormonally raging and just as like kind of crazy as you are in the moment, I'd be like, no, wait, here's the boundaries, jackass. Back off. And really, they're for your own good. Oh, wait, okay. You're not going to abide by those boundaries. Then, you got to get tough with them. That's when the discipline comes in. That's when you have to get a little stern. That's when you, as a parent, have to get a little uncomfortable. So your child can become comfortable with navigating life. But I think one of the kind of most, Steve and Natalie, things they should be embarrassed about is it seems like neither of them were willing to tolerate any level, any iota of discomfort for the critical benefit of the well-being of their child, who, as I said, I believe was always probably a little out of control inherently. So, I mean, I really wish I could talk. I wish I could work with Steve and Natalie. I wish I could talk to them. Like, I really wish I could. I wish I could work with them like in a therapeutic way, because I feel like I can see, and you guys know, I don't always think I have all the answers. I never think I have all the answers, but this one, I feel like, okay, I got this one now. And I don't think anybody that I've seen them speak with has been brave enough with them either to try to redirect their conversation towards the fucking hard truth. What is the fucking hard truth for them? But I think my ex-boyfriend, Chris, is doing a pretty good job in this interview. That's why I really like it. Again, I'm just talking too much. Back to my girl, Nat.
What I want to make sure is that you know where I'm coming from on this. I'm a pretty open and transparent person in terms of how I practice my journalism. There are a lot of things out there that you say are wrong, and I want to give you the opportunity to address them. So I'm not here to judge you or your answers. As we all know, there are plenty of people who are ready and willing to do that. But I want to make sure that our understanding of this situation benefits from the full complement of perspectives.
Sure.
And what I learned in covering this case and looking at it was, until I spoke to your husband, as informed by your perspective in the background, I had no idea how at odds with the attorney and their strategy you had been. So that's where I'm coming from, that I just want to understand all pieces of this to understand how we got here. So the next piece of perspective on it is, well, we got here because Mackenzie Shirilla wasn't just a kid experimenting with drugs. This was a heavy duty, hard hitter, wild child. And whether that was how she conducted her relationship and how she felt about Dom and how she felt about life and death, this was an extreme personality type who was open to reckless behavior. And that's how we got here. Fair assessment.
Oh my goodness. No. Let me tell you who Mackenzie is. She loves her family. She loves her friends fiercely. She's an adventurer. She's the friend that you have who will wake up in the morning and wants to seize the day. Like, let's go kayaking. Let's go roller skating. It's pretty outside.
Oh my God, I'm feeling some Corey Richins here. We're in for a fucking Hallmark card. She's the friend that'll hold your hand. She's a friend that's there when nobody else is there. She's a friend that hands you your teddy bear and you guys laugh over a cup of coffee or hot chocolate if you're Mackenzie, because Mackenzie's perfect. She doesn't drink coffee. This is just so I just, oh God, I want my hands on these people. No, I just want them in my office. I want them in my office. I just moved into a new office. I have like big windows with a pretty scene. I love it. My old office was kind of bigger and nicer, but I had no windows. And when I was in there all day, I did not like that. So anyway, I want them in my office, the one with windows. So if I have to escape because I just can't take it anymore, I can jump out the window. It's on the first floor. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Don't worry. But enough with this bullshit. This bullshit that they are pulling every time someone talks to them. I want someone to be like, fucking stop. Back it up. Because I don't want to hear this anymore. How did it do Mackenzie any good to hear this her whole life? So don't tell me the same shit because we see how that turned out. Let's get real, people. You know? Are you guys feeling like that?
Go hiking. Let's do whatever. She likes to go take pictures. That's, wherever abandoned buildings like they do, the kids go to all these abandoned buildings, take pictures. She's not reckless. And I know in some of the photos, it does appear that way. But I mean, I've done things as a child that my parents probably wouldn't have approved of. I hung around with some friends I probably shouldn't have. Did it mean I was reckless? No. It just means I was a teenager trying to figure life out. So she's not reckless or like a wild child. She was fun. She was
the information.
I'm so sorry. That statement was, that statement was just so shocking. I don't even know what just happened there. Oh my God. You have to, just one second. I got to find it. I know where it is. And when I get my bearings again, I'm sorry, that just like sent me out of orbit. Listen to what she says carefully. I don't know where we were, but I'm going to find it. Give me 45 seconds. We'll find it.
I understand it.
Well, part of me is not crying just because of
okay.
I want to make sure that our understanding of this situation is basically informed by this take. You're half right. She was involved in a lot of stuff at school and a lot of drama, but she was the bully. She was the aggressor in the school.
You got to follow the chain of command, the proper protocol.
Dude, wait, was I that far back? God, I have been talking too much. Hold it.
So let's start with the first one. How do they have who your daughter is wrong?
Oh, wait, no, damn it.
Basically informed by this take. You're half right. She was involved in a lot of stuff at school and a lot of drama.
I don't know where we were, but if we get there again, I'll make the plans to make. If not, we're just going to miss it. Oh, wait, here it is.
Was the aggressor in the school told you that, and that's why people are right to feel how they feel. What do you make of that?
How can they possibly know that, first of all? And then sometimes there are some teachers at the school who like her strength and they like her spirit, and they try to cultivate that and help her, guide her through.
Now, first of all, the teachers she's talking about are like the people like me. Like, I am that teacher. That's why I do what I do. I was that teacher. That's why I do what I do. They don't like her energy. They don't see her fucked upness as a strength, Natalie. They believe in her as a person, as a human being. And they understand that things have gone a little fucked up in her life, probably with parenting and such. And they've decided they want to, be in a position in life where they can maybe, help out this young person in a way that maybe no one else is going to, because you have a little bit of space between being a cute little kid and being a jackass teenager, who harms people and who is, like loses the cuteness, smells bad, says horrible things, thinks horrible things, starts to do horrible things. And then your chances of somebody lending you a helping hand in life, there's always a chance. There's amazing people out there, but they greatly decrease. So those teachers that you're talking about, Natalie, that you're saying, see Mackenzie, see her. They see her, the true her is a strength, and they believe in her. They want to cultivate her. No, Natalie, they want to save her. They want to put her in a behavioral therapy program like mine, so she can have a chance at transforming all of her now at this point, unfortunately, allowed, condoned, encouraged, well-established, ingrained, becoming semi-permanent, maladaptive, socially defiant behaviors into at least adaptive behaviors that are going to allow her to have a chance at happiness, success, and fulfillment in her life. And oftentimes, the fact of the matter is, the kid is in that bad situation because the parents didn't do, the damn thing that they needed to do to help out their kid because it was too hard for them. So they just defend themselves and their friends. Doing
it and communicating effectively to get that way. There are some teachers that super didn't. There's a lot of teachers that don't appreciate the strength in a child or a younger teenager.
There's a lot of teachers that don't appreciate a strength in a younger child. I don't know, man. Like teachers don't teach because it's good money. That's for fuck sure. They don't go into teaching because it's glamorous. Like I was saying earlier, people go into teaching because they really care about kids and they do see their strengths. And whether or not they're a good teacher, they're good at interacting with kids, they think they are somehow. And that's kind of good, and they're going to do what they think they can to bring that out. No. What she's saying is I believe some teachers don't like to see strength and virtue in children because all I know is that they bash my little precious Mackenzie pumpkin pie and they say she's bad, but Steve looks at his daughter and he knows. And he's like, get the fuck out of here, man. I know she's lying. You guys are fucked up. Yeah, I'm going to say this on, Netflix so I can maybe get tenure in my teaching job, you dumbass. So once again, she's making up a story to justify Mackenzie is right in everything she does and everyone else is wrong. The more I hear this shit and actually say it out loud, because I think about it all the time. I've been thinking about this case. Somebody fucking needs to help this family. Like, get a hold of them. Somebody get a hold of them for me. I will do it. But I am really worried about these people. And I'm worried about them being so in the spotlight, like the world spotlight right now. And we're watching this fucking train wreck. It keeps wrecking. I'm sorry if that was a bad analogy because of the crash. I didn't mean it like that. What happened was horrible. And I think about that a lot too. And I'm sure anybody who knows the story does. It's just haunting, horrible what happened to those boys. But it's worrisome to me that we're all watching this and talking about that's a good thing. But somebody's got to fucking do something, because if this just keeps going on and nobody ever does anything to help this family, that's like an epic fail for me. Oh crap. We've got a big mission this summer, girls. We've got a lot to do. Oh boy.
And they just want them to kind of fall in line. But there are some teachers that appreciated it. So it just really depends on who you're talking to. If you're talking to a friend that she was sticking up for, then she may be a bully to the other person. It just depends on who you're talking to.
I understand. Right now, I'm talking to her mom. And
that's right,
what I
Chris.
want to make sure is that you know where I'm coming from on this. I'm a pretty open and transparent person in terms of how I practice my journalism. There are a lot of things out there that you say are wrong, and I want to give you the opportunity to address them. So I'm not here to judge you or your answers. As we all know, there are plenty of people who are ready and willing to do that. But I want to make sure that our understanding of this situation benefits from the full complement of perspectives.
Sure.
And what I learned in covering this case and looking at it was, until I spoke to your husband, as informed by your perspective in the background, I had no idea how at odds with the attorney and their strategy you had been. So that's where I'm coming from, that I just want to understand all pieces of this to understand how we got here. So the next piece of perspective on it is, well, we got here.
Wait, I'm so sorry. I just have to read this comment. So, hi, Olivia Ann. Olivia said, I am certain if Wait, I am certain if reached out to them for an interview, the Shirillas would accept. Just be careful. They are known to do that voodoo. This is so funny. I was talking with a couple people that I work with. Today was my last day. Was it today or yesterday? I don't know. This week is just melded together. I'm just so excited. I have the summer off for the first time ever. Did I tell you guys that yet? You guys want to come over, have a margarita, cut up some watermelon, go sit by the pool, put on the sunscreen, pet some bunnies. Why does the summer wave have a southern accent? I don't know. It does. It just does. What were we talking about? Oh, this story is you guys won't get it. But anyway, I just read that comment. I'm talking too much again. Back to Natalie.
Because Mackenzie Shirilla wasn't just a kid experimenting with drugs. This was a heavy duty, hard hitter, wild child. And whether that was how she conducted her relationship and how she felt about Dom and how she felt about life and death, this was an extreme personality type who was open to reckless behavior. And that's how we got here. Fair assessment.
Oh my goodness. No. Let me tell you who Mackenzie is. She loves her family. She loves her friends fiercely. She's an adventurer. She's the friend that you have who will wake up in the morning and wants to seize the day. Like, let's go kayaking. Let's go roller skating. It's pretty outside. Let's go hiking. Let's do whatever. She likes to go take pictures. That's, wherever abandoned buildings like they do, the kids go to all these abandoned buildings and take pictures. She's not reckless. And I know in some of the photos, it does appear that way. But I mean, I've done things as a child that my parents probably wouldn't have approved of. I hung around with some friends I probably shouldn't have. Did it mean I was reckless? No. It just means I was a teenager trying to figure life out. So she's not reckless or like a wild child. She was fun. She was vibrant, adventurous.
That's what I was trying to repeat a while ago. Holy fuck. She says about Mackenzie, her daughter, she wasn't reckless or a wild child. She wasn't reckless or a wild child. She was fun. She was vibrant. She was adventurous. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? Here's the thing. And I went over some of Mackenzie's behavioral, mental health, and disciplinary records from Strongsville High School in the video. I'll link in the description. I think it was last uploaded video about this case. And I have more. I have a treasure trove that I don't think is public. I haven't seen anywhere else. I need a couple days to think very carefully about what I'm going to say about them, coming from a professional perspective, though, because they're sensitive. And I also think that coming from a professional perspective, I think if somebody else perhaps disclosed all of them on their true crime channel, be okay, but I don't think it's okay for me to. Honey Bun Cuffy, we're going to talk about that. Anaphylaxis group, get together. Okay. But okay, so my point is, when she says it's not like she was reckless or like a wild child, she was fun, adventurous, full of vim and vigor. She is fully aware of the behavioral, the mental health, the clinical mental health diagnoses records from physicians and psychologists and psychology. So, gosh, I can't believe I just got that messed up. It's late. Woo! And all kinds of people, guys. And guess whose signature is on all of the records where that part of the record is shown, and it isn't always Natalie's every time. There's notes of comments from the parents, discussions with the parents, back and forth with the parents, concerns from the parents. But guess what? Mostly kind of warnings to others who are going to read these records: administrators, teachers, behavioral therapists, counselors, the police force. Just a little heads up. This is like what the parents are trying to say. Basically, they're enabling their child. in these, especially behavioral and disciplinary records, there's ways that people, and a lot of you know this, I'm sure, you'll write things because the parents are going to read them. You can't say these fucking parents, dude. They have their heads up their ass, and when they're not there, they're up each other's ass, obviously. They haven't done a goddamn thing to help their child. They're more dangerous than their child, or at least just as. They're not our friend. They're not on our side. They are one of the enemies. So I'm just noting this is another challenge we have, but I can't say it in plain terms because they're going to read it, right? So that's like all over the place. So is she saying all this? She wasn't reckless or whatever. She was just full of vim and vigor and sweetness and sugar and spice and everything nice and feet fucking on OnlyFans. She's aware of all of these records. You know, and being someone who works with students again with these kinds of records, the records that Mackenzie carried around with her, she had a fucking big ass suitcase. Okay, like I don't know. I haven't had a lot of students travel down my path who towed along such a big suitcase, and it wasn't because of all their Prada shoes. It's because all their disciplinary, behavioral, mental health records and evaluations and assessments and kind of like warnings that came with them, and she knows all of that. So for her to say this, Natalie Shirilla. Bullshit. You're not going to like any of this, but you're going to need to face reality really soon, or you are going to essentially help your daughter. I can't even. Can things get much worse for Mackenzie? They can. And her parents are helping it go in that direction right now. This is not going to turn out good if you don't fucking wake up and face reality. You're 52 years old, bitch. Hello.
She was fun.
What do people have? Look, I know this is hard for you, and I know you keep catching yourself talking about her in the past tense, and that triggers this paroxysm of pain for you because your daughter's not dead, but the life she had is no more. And I get how hard that is for you. And I sympathize with you on that, and I understand it.
Well, part of me is not crying just because of that, okay? A part of me is just crying because her friends, people that actually know who we are, know the truth. They know who she is. And
so this is what makes Natalie start crying of all things. Chris is like, listen. And I love that he said this. I'm like, oh, he's so compassionate. Like, I like how he did this interview. You know, he's like, I know that you keep getting choked up because you're talking about your daughter in past tense. And like, I get it, man. That's hard for you. But it's not that she's dead. It's just that you're talking about her in past tense because she's still alive. She's here, but she doesn't live life she used. She's not the person she used to be. And that's got to be hard. And that's why you would assume a parent would be getting choked up, right? Shit, fuck, I'm talking about my kid, my baby in past tense because their life is essentially over. Look what they've done. And hopefully in your mind somewhere you're going, fuck, how did I allow them to do that? You know? But she's like, no, actually, Chris, that's not it. That's not it. The reason I'm getting choked up, Chris, actually is because, you know, the people that actually know us, she says know us, not just to know Mackenzie, know us. Okay, so not just to know Mackenzie. Once again, this is not just about Mackenzie. This is about their super fucking like, what's it called when like people of the same family have sex with each other, incestually enmeshed. And I don't mean they're having sex with each other. I mean that they are enmeshed, meaning that the way they interact with one another, the way that Steve and Natalie interact with Mackenzie as their daughter is not just allowing the worst parts of her personality and everything to exist, but they're also feeding it like, like super greens and shit. Super greens. Here's all your dysfunctional, horrible shit, Mackenzie. Jesus Christ. Let's not try to work that out of you because it's really, really like not desirable. In fact, it's repulsive. Let's feed it super greens and gluten-free shit. Yeah. Yep. Super greens and gluten-free shit. So that's what that being that enmeshed is. So she says, I'm not just, I'm not getting choked up because I'm grieving for the person, my child, the life she could have had, but she's not going to now because we all fucked it up so bad. I'm upset because the people that knew us, the whole family, because it's about them, they know the real Mackenzie, and they know that she's little Mackenzie pumpkin pie spice, sugar spice, everything nice, and vim and vigor and adventures and canoeing and daisies and puppies and cupcakes and shit. And she's admitting that what is getting her emotional of all of this, not that Dominic and Davian are dead, that they died in a violent, horrible crash. When I think about it, like I'm just started to I'm being like, what's it called when you're like erratic emotionally? God, I'm getting tired. Why can't these words come to me? I use them all the time. I'm being like that anyway. Like, I feel like I'm going to start crying when I think of them. It's really, it's just such a horrible loss. That's how it gets her choked up. It's when she thinks about the people who she says knew her and her family, Mackenzie, and she believes viewed them as fucking sugar and spice and everything nice, and not snips and snails and fucking puppy dog tails. And she's choked up because she doesn't like the snips and snails and puppy dog tails. She preferred the sugar and spice and everything nice. But now, because of all of this, it may be out of reach. Shit. The show's over. But not really, but shit. Ugh. Gross.
The image that has been painted of her through
the image that's been painted of her. See, it's all about the image. Oh, this is like the most I need to go mute myself for a little bit. I'm just gonna let Allie talk.
Storytelling, all this other things. It's not wholly accurate. It's unfortunate.
So part of that is the relationship with Dom. How did you see that? How did you see what are seen as radical ups and downs?
Oh, this is going to like super make me cry. But one of my favorite things to do with Mackenzie and Dom was talk to them about their relationship. We spent a lot of time together.
All right, I'm not going to say much about this. She says, one of my favorite things to do with Mackenzie and Dom was to talk about their relationship with them. We spent so much time together every day, every night. He was at our house. She was at their house. We all took bubble baths together. The Mr. Bubbly bath when you're a little kid. We got in the bubble bath together. We all took a bubble bath together. And like, it sounds like guys, I don't know. My son is 17. His girlfriend went stay here. He doesn't have a girlfriend, but he doesn't want a girlfriend now. And his friends are like my children. Some of them do, some of them don't. But they try to do it. Like, girlfriend's going to stay over here with her. So I'm like, no. We don't need to be doing that. First of all, that's your parents' decision. But even if I were your parent for some of my kind of man, no, we're just not going to do that. We don't need to be doing that. We don't need to be doing that tonight. We just don't need to be doing that. But she's like, it was so great. Not only was Dominic staying over every night. Do you guys know this? When Dominic and Mackenzie started dating and Dominic started staying over at their house to fuck their daughter, I mean, why else would he be staying there? Really? We know what happens when I'm just going to spend the night with my girlfriend. They gave up their bedroom. Do you guys know this? This is true. I didn't believe it. I thought people were bullshitting. It's true. They gave up their master bedroom and the home that they own, that they paid the mortgage for, that caused them to have to file bankruptcy, that caused them that much sacrifice. They gave up their bedroom so Mackenzie and Dominic could sleep in their marital bed in their master bedroom in the home they paid for and worked so hard for, to the point they couldn't even afford it and had to file bankruptcy just a few years ago. Thank you, Plunder. It's the only reason any of us know that. It's the only reason I know it. Plunder's awesome, guys. Let's be real. They gave up their bedroom. What? How? Have you ever heard of such a thing? Oh my God. Even when I was an adult, like after I went to college and, I was engaged. Let's see. It's when I was in law school and like a little after. And then we got unengaged. Great guy. It was just a bad time for us. He's a great person. We're still amazing friends. There were just some things that didn't work out, kind of, sort of, unfortunately. I'm glad he has a wonderful wife and family, but he was a great guy. I was just young and dumb and a little bit of Mackenzie Shirilla, but only a 0.011 fraction of a percent. Don't take that too seriously. Like my parents didn't want, like, more my dad. I don't know. I just wouldn't ask. Like if my boyfriend was staying, he could stay in another room. I don't know. But they're like, okay, you're 15, your boyfriend's 18. This is when it happened. Okay, he's going to start spending the night so we can fuck you. Cool. Oh, privacy. Yeah, granted. No problem. You can also have our bedroom. We're going to move out. You can have the master bedroom. Yep. And the heart-shaped jacuzzi tub. And, I mean, whoa. Oh, but I digress again. Talking a lot today. I know, I'm sorry. What she's about to say. Well, okay, hold up. I'm going to hand it to you guys. I'm going to put the link to panel up if anyone wants to come up. Listen very carefully to what Natalie's about to say about her place and Dominic and Mackenzie's relationship. And then also the texts that are read between Natalie and Dominic. And I want to hear what you think. That's how we're going to get me to stop talking tonight, because I don't know if it's going to happen any other way, honestly. So let me go back 30 seconds here. Please listen carefully. You have homework.
I understand it.
Well, part of me is not crying just because of that, okay? A part of me is just crying because her friends, people that actually know who we are, know the truth. They know who she is. And the image that has been painted of her through storytelling, all this other things, it's not wholly accurate. It's unfortunate.
So part of that is the relationship with Dom. How did you see that? How did you see what are seen as radical ups and downs?
Oh, this is going to super make me cry. But one of my favorite things to do with Mackenzie and Dom was talk to them about their relationship. We spent a lot of time together doing everything. We went on vacation together. Where there was one, the other was there too. So, they were together for 4 years. And they were together the 4 years in a real pivotal time of their age where they were trying to figure life out and who they were. And actually, I'm going to show you a text message that I sent to Dom. We were very, very, very close. And one of my favorite things to do was help them navigate through their relationship. And they knew that they can both come to me for anything if they were struggling with stuff. Hi, I tried to call you. You don't have to call me back. I was just thinking about you guys. One of my favorite things to do is watch you guys grow and navigate through your problems together. They're not always fun and it's not always easy, but the point is that you guys grow a little more each time and learn a little bit more about yourselves and each other. I love you guys. Anyway, that was all. And then he said, nice to think you're always thinking about us and here for us and here for me. I love you. Love you too. Thank you. And then I said, always.
Understanding relationship.
Okay. I think Honey Bun is backstage. And if anybody else wants to come up, I posted a link. I don't know if I can pin it. You guys can find it right here. Let me just pin it just in case. Just in case any of you are a little bit like Natalie and can't function like a grown-ass adult for yourself, I'll pin it for you. I'm just kidding. Sometimes I can't find shit on YouTube. I'm like, where'd they put that? I need a moderator. I can't read. I have my spectacles on. I need a moderator. No, it's not that I can't read. Well, sometimes it is, but sometimes I just can't find you. Why do they put shit where they do on YouTube? It's so arbitrary. YouTube, could you fix that, please? Stop the arbitrariness. Like, make it make sense most of the time. Dude. I can't find my own comment to pin. We're going to just move on. That's horrible. Let me bring Honey Bun up. Hey, girl, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. So wait, let me just read this message between Natalie and Dominic again, because I really want to see what you and others think about this, because this, Jesus, I should have separated this into like 15 live streams. There's like so much material here. Okay. So, all right, we've got, okay. So Natalie says, this is Dominic. I tried to call. You don't have to call me back. I was just thinking about you guys. One of my favorite things to do is watch you guys fuck on the. No, I'm just kidding. Is watch you guys grow.
Whoa.
It's but it's so twisted. It could have gone any direction, and it's
The feet fuckery is real. Oh my God.
Oh, it is real. She did. She did that. Dominic was mad about it. And she's like, you think more about this guy fucking my feet than I do. He's like, dude, we broke up and you didn't want to hang out with this chick. And, you know, she had you start prostituting your fucking feet. And she's like, so?
Crying.
I'm sorry.
Oh man. Oh God.
I'm sorry. If any parent who raise a girl who's gonna have a conversation with her boyfriend, she'd be like, so what? I'm like, you guys gotta go back to go. Do not collect $200 because we're gonna need that to check you in somewhere special.
Put that in for your psychology fund.
I know. You might want some of those sticky socks someday, and if you work on a few pairs of those, just hang out right there, right? Yeah, in the padded room.
You might be a redneck if you're into feet fuckery.
Oh my God. You might not be a self-respecting human being if you're actually having this conversation with, oh my God, like I just can't, I don't know. And I'm sorry if there's any like people that are making money from feet fucking on OnlyFans out there. I am so sorry. I don't mean to disrespect you personally.
I'm laughing because I have ugly feet and can't do it.
Didn't you just say that the other day? Weren't you like, I need to get a side gig because I have ugly feet?
Yeah, I did.
You said that to me. I thought it was you. I picked up what you were dropping. I knew that was a little Mackenzie in there.
That's so freaking funny.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't mean to, and I hope nobody thinks if you're coming in right now, just go back to the beginning, or maybe not. I don't know. This whole thing has been a little bit of a shit show on my behalf, but please don't think we're taking this lightly. But sometimes it's so absurd. So, all right, I'm going to read the actual text now. Natalie says to Dominic, I tried to call. You don't have to call me back. I was just thinking about you guys. One of my favorite things to do is watch you guys grow and navigate through your problems together. Okay, I would try not to take that detour. They're not always fun, but it's not always easy. But the point is that you guys grow a little each time. You learn a little bit more about yourselves and about each other. Love you guys. Anyway, that was all. Smiley face. Dude, if I ever got that message from one of my boyfriend's parents, I probably would have called my dad and been like, Dad, need one of your legal buddies go make an arrest. I mean, to me it seems so weird. And then so listen to what Dominic says, because he's a smart guy. I think Dominic was smart, level-headed. To me, he comes from what I learned about him. I have that impression of him. Okay, so he says, nice to think you're always thinking about us and here for me. Love you too. Thank you. To me, that's kind of like, nice to know that you're always thinking about us and fucking weird. I don't know. It might be how I'm reading it. And she writes, XO, 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 always. Not one, not two, but three.
They're not even married. You can't XO your daughter's boyfriend that many times. They're not married.
But some fucking weird ass people might do it. But like to me, the few things here are, first of all, to me that this is clear what happened. Natalie and Dominic had something going on where Mackenzie and Dominic had something going on where Mackenzie really fucked it up. They had a big explosion. She was witness to it. She knew about it. She knows that Mackenzie is freaking the fuck out and rubbing Dominic in all the wrong ways, probably, right out the front door where he's not going to open it back up and give her a key, but he's going to put a fucking bolt on it and possibly a restraining order on her ass. So she's trying, this is just my perception. I think, so she's trying to smooth it over. And she's also, I think she was always just making sure she was involved for one of two reasons, because she has wildly inappropriate boundaries. And she thought that this was appropriate and okay. And that this was somehow allowing her child to foster a sense of, developing skills to navigate healthy relationships herself when she's this fucking enmeshed and evolved and bubble bathing together and such. But I think, probably the biggest driver is that she's just making sure that there's not some kind of explosion between the two of them that is going to put Mackenzie in prison or, cause her to go into a psychotic, irrevocable, like Baker Act kind of fit. That's just my perception of it. And obviously we know other things that kind of support that perception, but let me see what chat thinks too. I may be going too far with that, but let's see. Do you think
it makes me want to be sick. I just want to be sick.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, yeah, I'll resend the link. Yes, thanks, Colby. Dawn9204, welcome, says that's what happens when parents raise their children as a friend and live vicariously through them. Touche, well said. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's always hard for me, like, to understand. Like, I have a 17-year-old son, and like, I love him to death. I love being part of his life. Like, his friends, but they like, more than any of his friends' house, they're always over here. I'm kind of the parent among his friend group. That's like the parent to them all. And I like that. I love that. But, I have, I mean, even times when like they're hanging out and like, oh, we'll come watch a movie with you. And they're sitting down having snacks with me. And I'm like, you're supposed to be hanging out with my kid. Like, this is, you know what I mean? Like, I think healthy people recognize that. Not that they can't come hang out and all watch a movie with me, but I understand this is my son's life. It's his friends. And some of them are really cool kids, and like I'm the parent. Goodbye. Now I've got to go tend to my YouTube channel, go run off and do children things. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
There definitely was no sense of that in that household.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I really wish she would have been a parent and not a friend. It just makes no sense. You can be your child's friend or at least a confidant. But you got a parent. That's number one, or we're going to have crap, generations, after us. And
but
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're
friend. If you were being if I was
her generation proves it.
The kind that's true. Well, yes, but let's not go on the whole generalization because that's going to be hard for us to make points. You see, but no, you're right about that. I'm just kidding. I'm kind of kidding, but then, if I was acting in any way, and I see you, Julie, I'm going to bring you up in a second, and your camera's on, and I always just you look beautiful, but I always just tell people that in case they don't want to be. Some people get mad. I used to not tell people, and they get mad at me if they know it's on. I'll bring you up in a second, honey. If I was acting in any way like Mackenzie and you being my friend were, being towards me like Natalie is to Mackenzie and actually, encouraging me to be more fucked up in this, dude, I go find your fucking ugly feet and bitch slap them all up and down. Like, girl, why are you being a friend like that? You're not being a good friend. You're helping me be a horrible person. Even to any... I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on it. Their relationship is just, it's hard to understand how you can have a child and love the child and still allow that relationship to be so bad for that child and from every angle.
Yeah. I don't know. I messaged Natalie on Instagram, since they're so on Instagram all the time. I messaged her and I was like, hey, listen, if you want to survive this at all, You probably need to stop talking.
Yeah,
This is serious.
absolutely.
This is serious. Like, I'm a nobody, and I ain't trying to get in the middle of nothing, but just shut up.
Well, you know what? That's what actually when I was saying earlier, like I really would love to talk to them. Like I haven't reached out to them, but I think I'm going to because I didn't want to say, I was thinking about, I'm like, I'm not going to say this because if I could get a hold of them and they were receptive, rather than, getting the interviews with them, that would no doubt be very, very good for my channel. What would be more important to me is that I could actually help them. And before even putting that out there, I'd like to ask them if they're, tell them what I do. And if there's any way I could just, no one's committing to anything, but can I just talk to you guys? I just have observed some things. If you're open to it, I just really want to help you out and just try to open a conversation like that and just kind of start the kind of therapy that I do is a casual conversation that often works best when people don't know that's what's
Now, I
happening.
reached out to them hoping that they would be receptive as well, but there's a lot. I mean, I'm 98% sure that they're probably not going to be receptive because they live in this fantasy world. And
yeah, I
don't think they have any care. I don't even think that they are looking at it like, oh, we could maybe get Mackenzie out sooner if we scale back and allow people to maybe have sympathy for her at any point in time, because nobody does now, because y'all don't know how to be quiet.
No, I know. But you know what? I think maybe, I don't know. I was thinking about, I was like, how does anyone get to them? Because I think, Chris did a good job with them. I think perhaps way to do, well, I don't want to tell other people. I'll tell you later, but I actually think that I have a strategy.
Okay. Well, if I get a hold
Chris
of
will help us
her,
out.
if I get a hold of
you
her,
do let
I'm
me know if
bringing
you
her to
like her.
you.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't even, yeah, we'll talk about that later. Cause I hope other people are trying to help them. It really makes me feel, I don't know. It gives me this feeling of like humanity. It feels a little more frigid today than it did yesterday if I think that there are like a whole shitload of people really trying to figure out how are we going to help these people. This is fucked up. We can't let this, we as a society can't fucking watch this happen.
Don't forget Julie.
I know. Oh, I'm so Julie, I can never you, honey. Okay, let me get her. Okay,
I was trying to whisper that.
All right. Hey, Julie. Oh no, we have audio issues. Hold it. I see your lips moving, but I can't hear you. Hold it. Let me check on my end. Hold it. No. Okay. No.
Your lips are moving.
Your audio's on from your audio's on from my end, Julie, but your lips are moving and we can't hear no words. Oh wait, I just heard something. Repeat after me. My name is Julie.
My name is Julie.
Barely. Let's see. I can barely hear. What device are you talking into? A phone, a computer, a what? Okay. Is your thumb on like the speaker maybe?
Yes.
Yes. Move your thumb, Julie. Move your thumb. Hold your phone different? No. That I can't hear you. I can't think of a fix for this either.
Is your YouTube on in the background possibly?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh
yes. Oh, good.
Okay.
Julie, plug the device into a wall outlet. I'm just kidding. That's what happens to me. I go get the idea department. They're like, is it plugged in? I'm like, nope, never mind. Bye.
No, I just took my speaker off.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So what's on your mind, girl? Thanks for coming up.
Well, it's a local case, and I've been following you since Chris Watts.
Awesome.
That
are you in Strongville?
I'm 15 minutes away from Strongsville.
And was there somebody else in chat from Strongsville too, or was it was, yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's right. I asked you before, people is like in your area locally, or is this as big a deal as it is for us here at Watts the Obsession? And
I honestly, locally, it wasn't really a blown up case at first.
Yeah.
But now since the Netflix and um, everything, I really side with the victims.
Yeah.
We don't, it didn't blow up until Netflix. We saw the court case and everything, but on local news, but it didn't really make a splash until this Netflix thing, and we see how the Shirillas are. That's
Mm-hmm.
really the biggest
Yeah. Now, do
thing
you know,
that's making a splash here.
I heard, did they move out of Strongsville, or are they still there? I heard,
Not to my knowledge. I think they're still there.
wow.
I'm surprised people are not like
Oh,
rioting at their door and stuff.
They may be, for
yeah.
all I know. Like I said, I'm 15 minutes away. I'm on Pearl. I'm right off of Pearl Road,
Oh,
You
which
should
is
go
wow.
right
troll
the
their
main.
area, right? Do a drive by. I mean, just to look, not a real
Oh,
drive
I
by.
could. I could very well do that. I know
What
that
you're
the
gonna do,
route
you're
that
gonna go show up at their front door. I'm gonna send you a laptop. I'm gonna send you a laptop. It's gonna be an
I don't
inexpensive one,
care that
probably.
much, but I can
Someone in the
see the
family is
kind
gonna
of people
throw
they
it.
are.
And
Yeah,
we're gonna connect it to Wi-Fi, and it's gonna be just me
okay.
fucking talking, and they're not gonna be able to leave. And they're gonna be like, "Nope, we don't want to hear it." You're like, "No," and then you're gonna force your way in. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that, Julie.
That's okay. No, I've been interacting with these people. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you met them before?
Oh, the people on your chat?
Oh no, I thought you meant the Shirillas. Okay, I thought you meant you've been interacting
No,
with
I
them.
don't know them
Okay,
from Eve, but
gotcha.
like I said, I've always been in Strong. So I grew up in Parma, which is a neighboring suburb, and I live right down the road. I mean, it's very local. Yeah, it's
Wow.
very local. It didn't make a big splash until this Netflix documentary, but I know that neighborhood like the back of my hand.
So let me ask you
And
this. So your local youth and high school and teenagers. So would you say, and from region to region and like kind of, based on like suburban, urban, rural, kids act different ways. Do you think the way that we observe Mackenzie Shirilla acting and what we see of her is typical of youth in your local area?
no,
Putting
she
aside the
is a very
crash. I
big
mean,
brat.
yeah.
No. And
Yeah.
even Dominic's older sister, she's much older than him. And I feel for her because I'm much older than my youngest brother, too. And she said, if it was my kid, if it was my daughter, I would never allow her to live. She essentially did move in with him. It kind of happened gradually, but whatever. She was staying there overnight, and it started just, evolving into multiple nights where she was staying there. And
I
she
think she
said,
was
I would
pushing
never
herself in
let,
there.
right. And she was still 17. She wasn't even 18. And I would never allow my teenage daughter to
Oh no.
start staying overnight at a 20-year-old, he was 20 years old at the time, at his house.
Well, I actually did look up Ohio statute and the entire duration of their relationship. And now please understand anything I'm saying here. I'm not saying anything disparaging Dominic. And I don't just say that because he's of the victim. I don't disparage him. I get the age
Right.
is, I get it, but statutorily, they were always in an age frame where there was an issue of statutory rape, carrying hefty penalty, and that would, could ruin his life. And guess what? It's not it wouldn't be statutory rape in a relationship, like a sweet, kind of normal, pathed, high school relationship. But the most volatile, manipulative, backbiting, using threats to keep control of the relationship and the other person, kind of relationship that you ever see high schoolers in. She could have flipped that on him so quick, it would have ruined the entirety of his life. I don't care if his mom is an attorney or not. So even I think of this too, like the parents allowing her to put Dominic in that kind of danger, because they know who she is, whether they admit it to her, themselves, or us, they fucking know, and we know it. So that is like, damn, they really are.
The statutory age in Ohio is 16.
Right.
So she was over 16.
Well,
but yet, would you
okay
allow your 17-year-old daughter to stay with a 20-year-old man? And his mother lived next door.
Yeah, no, but I think it does. Well, we don't have to get into the particulars. I think it does adjust again though. So then it's over like 19 and a half or something and under it. I think but for almost the entire time. And it was, and whether they knew those laws or not, they knew that it didn't have to be that way. And what kind of world do they live in where they want to be so involved in the relationship? And, Steve is like, they were never going to break up. They were never going to break up.
Wrong. Anybody. I mean, unfortunately, now that Dom has passed, the text messages are public knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Russo family does not want to see them, but it's public information. Right. And they've already been divulged. So
yeah,
she was chasing him and she was harassing him. And
absolutely.
Yeah, that's the main thing. She was harassing him. Yeah. And it was domestic violence is what it was. She was threatening him. And that is
also,
why
in my opinion, criminal blackmail and stalking.
It was blackmail. It was blackmail and stalking. Even after Dominic passed away, she was stalking his mother.
Yeah.
Which his mother is very private. You will not find her anywhere. She's very private. And unfortunately, the video of her finding the news, when Strongsville, it was horrific.
I think I told you, or I don't know if you're in the live stream when I said, like, after I saw that video, like, I couldn't like recover from it. I couldn't get over it. Like I had things I was going to do, and I just had to, it impacted me so significantly. I had to work through it.
Yeah. And I mean, Dominic was no angel. I mean, he wasn't, but we're talking about how people, average people, how they get into trouble. But she was not average people getting into trouble. She was smoking marijuana while driving. She was smoking marijuana excessively to the point where she was like out of her mind.
Yeah.
She was just, I mean, when you watch, and they showed it in court, and plus she was under 18 and whatever, I don't know why they differentiate, but when you're under 18 and excessively smoking marijuana in your home with your parents, I mean, that's something else. And while driving.
Right.
Smoking so much that you have to take a break.
Yeah. And it wasn't even legal in Ohio at the time that she was doing it.
Wow.
It wasn't legalized until after Dominic's death. I know that. I think it became, I don't smoke marijuana, but I think it was
Some people
23 or 24. Yeah. It was after Dominic's death that it became legal here. But it was never, of course, it's never, it's still an OVI. And she took so many, I don't know how many hundreds of videos with her
Well,
smoking, and she
I actually took it upon myself to count the number that I found that are available, and
You
I'm
would.
at a total.
You would.
I'm at a total of
Yeah.
128 separate video recorded. Whoops.
thank you.
Separate video, 128 separate video recorded
Son of a-
instances of her video recording
Yes.
herself smoking marijuana from a bong or a stogie.
In her own home, and that was her. And I think you mentioned that was her parents'
And her car.
master
What
bedroom.
about that video of all you something fucks? Something about go kill yourself
Yes.
or bitch or something like that. I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
hey, listen.
Well, and that was another separate incident where a minor fell down. She was at Dominic's house.
New Year's Eve party that Mackenzie threw.
Yeah. And
The New Year's Eve
a
before they
minor
crashed.
fell, and they were all high school students that attended this party. Dominic was not in favor of having this party, but she invited all these minors over to this party, and it's a ranch house. I looked it up on, I could drive down there myself. It's on Lund Road.
But she fell
it's
down
like
a raw set of cement stairs, and the people who witnessed it said that she didn't even hit the stairs. She just went from the top.
Yeah, she
went over to
kind of
pick something
just
up.
flew.
How?
Yeah,
She didn't.
and well, she
Belly
yeah, they
flopped
don't
the
know. But
floor.
listen, she fractured her skull in several places and required 4 brain
Oh, it was
surgeries.
terrible. Yeah. She had some
Oh, man.
cerebral hemorrhaging, I believe, and it was really
God.
bad.
Yeah, they
I
Yeah,
just about
no,
made me
it was
sick.
really bad.
They didn't think she
It
was
was a
gonna come out of coma.
serious injury.
But I do
And
want
what
to say
Dominic-
this. I do want to say this though. A couple of the girlfriends stayed, but not even because all the kids ran because they were just afraid of getting in trouble. Guess who the one person who stayed with her, even when the cops arrived and wouldn't leave her? was?
Davion,
Yes.
yeah.
Davion.
Yeah. But
What an amazing
Shirilla's
young
parents
man.
showed up, I guess.
Oh, yep, they did. Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I
body cam
did.
video?
I didn't see them on the video. I saw the girls' parents show up.
Oh, they make an appearance on the video. They start to try to interfere with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they look kind of course, I'm in my mid 50s, so I guess I don't have children, but I guess I'm their age. But
It was 2:03 a.m. A girl falls down the stairs at Dominic's house, cracks her head open to the point where she requires 4 brain surgeries, has to be forced into a coma to save her life. And and nobody called the police. Mackenzie called her mom, and Natalie called 911. Of course, Natalie,
well, the thing that she put,
Super
was it?
up at the house. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that
Because there was a lot.
I got some of the police records from Creator.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a little different than Miss Mackenzie lied on her little story.
Oh, she did. She did. She said that she assisted the girl, that she contacted the authorities and made herself available. But what really happened, she called her mom. She and Dom hid in Dominic's house. He turned off all the lights. They would not answer the door. The police, and it was Davian who, and he, I bet he didn't know. He did carry her out to the sidewalk. Of course, with somebody injured that badly, you should not move them.
Right.
To stabilize the spine.
Right.
But he didn't run, even though he knew his parents would be pissed. He did the right thing.
Poor
I have so
Davian.
much respect for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He was always there when the smoke cleared, and he was always trying to do the right thing.
That's right. Oh, yeah. And Calissa says, Dom hid inside the house, refusing to come out. Natalie said that Dominic was 23. And when Steve and Natalie do show up in the body cam footage, Steve is saying, the homeowner's of age. He's of age. He's over age. He's of legal age. He's of legal age. And the cop is like,
he was only 20.
And he goes, you and the cop's like, all right, you can leave now. We don't need you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the dad of the girl who had to have before brain surgeries was trying to talk to the emergency responder so he could go meet his girl who he didn't know if she was even going to survive the hospital. And Steve is butting in his way to try to make sure that his daughter doesn't fucking get in trouble for underage drinking.
Jesus.
Shows you what
They're the worst liars. I'll tell you. They enable her. When people say they are the worst enablers, they are exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care about what Dominic was consulting with his mother right next door.
Right.
His mother was right next door.
Right.
She must have saw the ambulance.
Dominic didn't need them, you know. I'm sure, you know, they just have to. It's all part of the control of them making sure that everything goes the way they want it to. And Mackenzie and Dominic stay together, and their image is good, and the perception is good, and it's sugar and spice and everything nice, and no snips and snails and puppy dog tails. Not when you're looking at us, even though we're fucking funny looking. Besides the point.
And in that case, I blame the Shirillas. I do not think. Dominic didn't want to have that party to begin with.
Right.
But
Mackenzie's
little Mackenzie
so cool.
wanted to have that party.
Right.
He did. Dominic didn't even want to bother with that.
Mackenzie's the new Kim Kardashian. Didn't you know?
Oh, right. Kim was going to come that night. I forgot.
That's right.
And you know, I saw that.
Push the girl down the stairs.
I saw when she said that in the jail. And they were talking about when it was on the Daily Mail or whatever. And I
wish
thought
Kim
that was
Kardashian
like
would make a public statement and just be like, I
She
cannot
did.
stand her.
She did. She said, and I wouldn't accept this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I only represent people that have been wrongfully convicted. I
Right.
wouldn't accept her case.
Hell yeah. That's what's up.
Wait, let me just bring this in.
Right.
Really.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's not it. Sorry. I'm just going to play the video that started this whole conversation here that was in response to that night. And you can hear how she lies. Surprise, surprise. Oops. I keep putting in the wrong video. What am I going for here? I'm tired.
Oh, she's just a demon seed. She's not rehabitable. I'm sorry.
No.
She's not.
No one is.
But she wasn't a bad kid. She didn't really need to be disciplined.
Okay, here.
No.
Wait, just 1 second. Play this, okay?
Am I a perfect parent?
God.
No. No one is. No one is.
But she wasn't a bad kid. She didn't really need to be disciplined a whole lot. You know, her worst is her mouth.
Just a PSA. If any of you think that party situation is my fault, you fuck yourself and leave my story right now. Yeah.
Really?
Because we let all you underage little inside our beautiful home just to do illegal things. And you want to blame us? Aren't you all the ones that ran out of the house and left and shook her while we called the police and got her there? Was she... Yeah, please go f yourself, kill yourself, bitch. Goddamn close to me. What the f, letting this bitch off the bus?
Sick.
Yeah.
I want to pie face her sometimes.
You think she deserves to be out in the community?
No. Never did I ever think that she deserved to be out. However, I do feel that we feel, oh shit, hold on. I'm gonna mute myself. They're going nuts.
This is Honey Bun, right?
Yeah, I got a dog problem. They're just
Honey Bun.
They're howling right now.
Who is?
My dogs.
This
They're
is
outside.
funny
There's an
because-
ambulance going by and they think they have to sing along with it.
Oh, the doggies.
Oh.
Yeah, I only have.
Like, go help.
I love dogs.
I only have 1 million of them.
I don't like kids, but I love dogs.
I don't have any children because I decided that I have gave all my patients to dogs, and I would probably. I don't know.
See,
I would
I
probably not be a
always
good
loved
mom.
kids. I wanted to have kids, but I couldn't. but that
Yeah, I
didn't.
couldn't
That
either.
wasn't
And I chalked it up and
in
had
the
dogs instead.
wasn't in the cards for me, so I guess I didn't. But I love dogs,
Aw.
and
How
I
are
have very
random
little
people the B
tolerance for
word?
other people's kids now. But yeah,
uh,
I have all the patience in the world for dogs. I love dogs. I love all animals.
oh yeah, they're wonderful until you have 30 of them.
Aw.
All right, I'm gonna keep playing that interview with Natalie and Chris Cuomo a little bit here. You guys good with that?
Oh, it's hilarious. She's nuts, isn't she, Kelly?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what she is, but she is that's what I'm
A
trying to figure
banana
out.
split with nuts.
Yeah. Here we go.
Back. I was just thinking
Oh,
about you guys. One of my favorite things to do is watch you guys grow and navigate through your problems together. They're not always fun and it's not always easy, but the point is that you guys grow a little more each time and learn a little bit more about yourselves and each other. I love you guys. Anyway, that was all. And then he said, nice to think you're always thinking about us and here for us and here for me. I love you too. And thank you. And then I said, always.
Understanding relationships, and obviously they're not adults, they're kids. I mean, he's an adult technically, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Did you believe at the time that the vagaries of their relationship, the drama, was within the realm of normal, or did you see it as a toxic relationship?
No, I didn't see it as a toxic relationship because we did spend so much time together every single day. He was either sleeping here.
No, I didn't see it as a toxic relationship just because of the way we spent so much time together.
because she coerced
that's
him.
the first indicator. That's usually the first indicator of a toxic relationship when you spend so much time together. Because you have
No kidding.
Because one party or the other demands it. You know. Ugh.
Yep.
She was sleeping there. He would come over and make dinner. They made homemade pasta and steaks. So there was none of that. Like I knew that he was going to take care of her, like keep her safe and like he was very protective of her. And then I also knew that she was protecting him. So in person, I know it sounds toxic in the text messages, but there's no context for those. That's not.
Listen, Natalie. Yeah, I know it sounds toxic, but there's no kind of some words provide the context for the words around them. That's what context is. These words you're talking, I know the messages sound toxic, but there's no context. The context is self-evident. Context is not required when what is in front of you is evident. Context then only really murks it up. When you say, fuck you, fucking bitch, I fucking hate you, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to, I'm going to crash this car, you mean that's what you mean. I don't care if the context is, you just had the most romantic day, or I don't care. Like that's what's up. It doesn't require a context. So let me read you these ones that are up on the phone now. And she's trying to use these as support for Mackenzie, but I'm going to tell you what's really going on here, because there are actually, if you want to provide context, there are text messages surrounding these that would be providing that relative and supporting context that are absent. But Dominic, I'm breaking up with you, Mackenzie. You know how much I love and care about you, and I get this. I was just trying to make you fucking happy and feel better, Dominic. I'm bipolar. You just gotta not talk to me. I'm sure she accused him of that. Mackenzie, but no, you make me feel like I'm nothing for no reason. Dominic, you make me hate myself, she also says. Dominic, you make me feel like I have everything. Wait, you make me feel like I have to do everything with you or I'm doing something wrong. She gave him no space, none. You think I'm always mad? Mackenzie, I fucking hate myself. I'm ugly and I just add on to it and I make you feel even uglier. Like, how can you leave me and walk away like that? It's fucked up. Now you just sound dumb, Dominic says. You make me feel like I'm worthless. I do so much for you. Okay, we see how that's going. Let me just move that forward a little bit. Oops. Oh, wait, hold it. Was that before or after? Hold it. Oh, wait, hold it. Never mind. Oops, I'm moving this one there. Oh, hold it. I have to play it here.
I always tell people is who Dom looks like on paper.
Yeah, so she parlayed that into, she was trying to insinuate something about Dom. Now she's like, I always tell people that who Dom looks like on paper, it's not him at all. She's making it sound like he's really, you know what I mean? I don't know. Fucking stupid bitch. And then Mackenzie says, you are as mentally abusive, physically abusive, and a terrible boyfriend. I don't do anything. You don't do anything good for me, and you literally treat me like shit and call me the worst names you can think of. Please. This is all for show. It's like she's always trying to build a case against him. I had a boyfriend that used to do this. Actually,
I don't think he ever really was into her.
I think he was. But wait, here, let me finish reading these here. The fact that my boyfriend of 4 years just tried to end my life by steering me off the highway, that's how I know you're not in love with me, and you never were. Somebody who loves me would never do this to me. Now, the greater context for this conversation is it's following the day when Dominic called his mom and said, I've got to get out of the car. Mackenzie is being fucking crazy. And mom sent Hench or Chris Martin. Have you guys heard that interview? I have that interview. Chris Martin testified that he heard Mackenzie say on the phone, I'll steer this fucking, or I'll run this fucking car off the road, crash it right now or whatever. And she was hitting him with both hands and being crazy. So while that was happening, because this is right after that event, I imagine she probably was trying to steer the car off the highway, and he was probably trying to hold on the steering wheel to keep the car, to keep them safe. And she turns it around like this, and there's evidence of her doing this all the time. The only reason I went this far, Mackenzie says, is because you tried to end my life. Dominic says, Kenzie, I did not. Mackenzie says, you could have just apologized when you did something wrong, but I forgot. You're too immature. Dominic says, why would I try to kill myself too? And Mackenzie says, I'm already nervous driving in the rain, and it's like the fact that you would even try to steer me off the road and make me lose control of my car, probably because you're mentally ill. You used to hit your head on the wall and choke yourself with a bell. And also after Dominic called his mom and said, Mom, I'm scared, the way Mackenzie's driving, Mackenzie then sent his mom this whole series of texts because she heard Dominic on the phone with mom telling mom that Kenzie's fucking threatening to crash the car. And I'm so scared, Mom. I need your help, Mommy. He was truly fucking terrified. So then Mackenzie starts texting his mom saying, what he was saying is not true. Dominic actually tried to kill me. He tried to crash the car. She would just turn it around on him to weaponize it against him. She was so threatening and mentally, emotionally abusive and hostage holding with him. I think he really did love her deeply and deeply cared about her. His idea of love at that time in his life, because there's no other reason he would have stayed with her. I mean, his brother knew him well. His brother says so. I think, he, like a lot of people and like a lot of people that age, wanted to believe in the best parts of her and that she could change for the better. And those good parts of her would become more prominent. And those really horrible parts would start to fade away if he loved her enough. And it never happened. Not in his lifetime because she killed him. Horrible. Horrible.
I think she was threatening. She was blackmailing him.
Absolutely.
Because he was no angel.
Well, I think she was blackmailing him because she wanted to keep control of him and she didn't want him to leave. And that I mean, to me, whether he was no angel or he was an angel, and this matters, like, irrelevant. I mean, she's not even talking about him selling shrooms or something like that. She's trying to say that he's physically assaulting her and attempted to murder her. I mean, that's so much more serious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She was blackmailing him all the way. And he was
Yeah.
already afraid of he already hated the police.
Right.
And for her to do that, I think he was tied to her because he didn't want her squealing on him, period.
Right.
I don't think he ever wanted to be with her.
How well, I mean, I think if he didn't ever want, this is just my opinion, of course. If he never wanted to be with her, he wouldn't have been with her. I mean, there had to be something more holding him there.
I've just seen the text messages early on from 2020, which seems like yesterday for me. But
and also remember, he's a young, a teenage 20-year-old guy. He's like driven primarily by his hormones. I'm sure if he was with her, he was a good-looking guy. He could have had tons of girlfriends.
He was so good-looking. Yes, he was so handsome.
He probably was like, when he probably met her at first, probably physically, as far as physical attraction,
in
his perception, because he likes Mr. Bean and bug eyes and stuff. Like, she was probably like his
and she was a chopstick. Let's face it. But yeah.
Yeah.
But he was not receptive to her at all for like the whole first year that she kept chasing after him, according to text messages. And that's what I think a big indicator was for like the whole first year, that she was coming after him. And then another thing too, after he passed, she was harassing his mother.
Oh yeah, no, she was. I mean, I see their text message a little differently. I mean, I think he would continue to get pushed away by her because of the way that she behaved.
I think he was a very nice man, a young man.
Yeah.
And I think he was afraid to hurt her. And he wanted to break up with her. He didn't know a nice way to do it.
Yeah.
And here we are.
I absolutely think she threatened the big S word that YouTube won't accept to Dominic and mother, and every time she didn't get her way. And I think Natalie reinforced that, if you leave her, Dominic, though, she's going to kill herself, Dominic. And he didn't want that. He didn't want that on his conscience, whether he wanted to be with her
I think
or not. Oh God, I've seen relationships like this.
Yeah, his brother alluded to that. I haven't seen any other, but I believe it. But yeah. I don't know. It was a very volatile relationship. And the biggest thing is, I hate that Steve Shirilla keeps telling everyone, oh, they were going to get married.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I know. Okay, I'm going to go back to this interview and just play a little bit more of it.
Okay.
Is not who he was. So what they look like on paper, it's not who they were. It's just not who they were. They were very close. They loved each other fiercely. They were very cute together. They took care of each other. They wore matching outfits. They timed their day around each other. They made sure that they had each other's food. He cared about her health, and he was trying to work on her. She has POTS, so he was trying to figure out her POTS and her diet and stuff. So they were very cute together. There's no context in those text messages. That was just them trying to figure out how to work through these situations that they had building up, but that's not who they were. I know it's what it looks like, but that's not who they were.
When I talk to you guys, you both bring up this relatively, for most people, obscure medical condition called POTS, which is basically a blood pressure differential, and how that can affect people. You guys talk about it like this was something that was known and ongoing in her life. That is not the way that it was argued in court. And it was not.
Okay, now the POTS thing truly doesn't really interest me very much. She was diagnosed with it in 2017. That's a fact. It's in her medical records. I have those on file. They're on my Patreon. And I just don't know where to put them on YouTube. That's why they're not there. But she talked, here's the interesting part of it. I'm going to move through it. She takes like 10 minutes. She's like, it was true. She did have it. I had to tell all her friends about it because, you know, the worst thing you can do, and I had to learn this the hard way, if someone has POTS, if they're feigning, you can't try to catch them. And da-da-da. As she was saying this for the first time, I was watching on my TV. I got my computer and I Googled, you know, if somebody faints from POTS, you know, to like do and like whatever, however I worded it, she was fucking reading verbatim what Google AI said to you. She's a total fucking lie. Like a really stupid way to lie too. Like you don't think someone like me is going to Google the lie while you're telling it, dumbass?
And then if you have multiple things, each individual item is one thing. So that could add up.
Wait a minute. I'm going to go to that. Okay.
Well,
You know?
with different perspective and analysis. Like, yeah, she smoked weed, but you know, not every day, and she still went to school, and she did this, and she doesn't have girlfriends in prison. She's not fighting people in prison. She didn't stab someone in prison. You know, I mean that's how.
Yeah. Well, that is how. So I can't speak on any of her activity in prison. She's not doing any of those crazy things people are saying. So what she's doing is she lays in her bed a lot. She colors, she draws, she paints things for people and their children. She's like super, super talented. She listens to music. She writes music. She journals a lot. She likes to watch movies and play board games. You know, she doesn't like drama. So she tries to avoid that. And if there is, then she's always the first one to extend the olive branch to whoever it is to
This woman says she doesn't like drama. Girlfriend, do you know? She talks about Mackenzie not reading the Discovery, and we haven't even I'm going to have to get to the other part of this interview another time. I wasn't planning on talking so much, but it's getting late. She talks about Mackenzie having not seen the Discovery, which is really fucking sad. And I bet she hasn't seen it because her mom won't let her. Because if Mackenzie did read the Discovery, and maybe if she read it without her mommy there watching over her shoulder, she might learn a little bit about herself.
Yeah.
I wonder if she even knows about all of her medical records and such that are in there. I bet she doesn't. I bet she's been shielded from it. And that's not fair to Mackenzie. That's not okay.
I don't care though.
Well, I do. I mean, I don't think it's okay that these parents couldn't deal with the truth of their daughter to the point where they protected their daughter from herself, therefore never allowing her to have a self. And that is where a personality disorder thrives. And if you want a cluster B, you are in the sale aisle right there. It is Black Friday. You got it. You are all set up. And I mean, it is, I do care. I think Mackenzie's life could have been different if they weren't so afraid of fucking parenting, one of the greatest joys of life. Like, what's
but
wrong
is she rehabitable, Kelly?
As a parent, no. As a human being, I don't think she's pure evil. I think she like sucks in a lot of ways. You know,
what can we do?
I think right now, I feel like I said, because this is on such a public scale and we're all watching it and it's such a mess. When I first was talking about Mackenzie clearly indicating borderline personality disorder, I was afraid to talk about that. I hadn't heard anyone else in the mental health profession say that yet because we're hesitant to talk in those terms, especially when you're speaking about someone who's been observed as a minor and it's not a disorder that's can't be diagnosed until 18, and many clinicians will not diagnose it till someone is, some say 21, 23, 25, depending on your biological and neurological maturity beliefs, essentially. So, but then I started, and it's not that I didn't think anyone else thought it, because I thought anyone who knows what's going on with a TSMV here or TSMV, that's a department, motor vehicles. Honey Bun knows why they've been on my mind. No one else needs to know except for Cuff-U. Anyway, you know, anyone who knows a DSM at all, I think is certainly thinking that. Are we going to talk about this outwardly or not? But anyway, since this has become such a really public, open and honest conversation, that I think it's good to have those, you know, really addressing topics head on that a lot of people are afraid to talk about, or, like maybe the general public is not knowledgeable enough about it to have a conversation that's facilitated by like mental health professionals who are afraid to talk about it outwardly due to our ethical guidelines and being YouTubers, essentially. So I love that all that's happening. So now that all of that is happening, to me, this is a pinnacle case that is really, really important to the public. What happens to Mackenzie justice-wise, that's important to me because I believe in democracy and I believe in justice and freedom and rights and civil liberties for myself. And I want them there when I want them to be there, and I want them for you and you want them. And that means I need to want them for Mackenzie too. And it is clear to me that she did not receive what the Constitution guarantees her, and that is not acceptable. But as far as this family goes and this family dynamic, ever since I've started this channel, I think I have like something on my homepage, is like something about a mission statement. I haven't changed a single word since it started. Those of you who have been here the whole time know. And I talk about true crime being, a way for people to, learn about, like human beings are naturally curious about those outer ranges of human capacity and potential and psychology. And that's why we're interested in it. And it's a place for us, to learn about ourselves by observing these kind of outer extremes of humanity that we don't always necessarily see examples of in our own life. So personally, but the important thing we take away at the end of the day, in my opinion, is being able to identify indicators of people or groups of people, who are not okay, who need help, who need support. And so we can help ourselves and each other when we need it the most. To me, that's the most important lesson, because people life is really hard. We are isolated. We are lonely. We don't help each other the way we used to. We don't reach out. And that I see the devastating effects. I experience the devastating effects it's had on myself. I see the devastating effects it has on my friends, on the people I work professionally, my family members. And I know how we can change that. And that is to learn about ourselves by learning about each other. And so for me, all this talk about true crime was really just to facilitate a conversation about all of that. And now that we have met the Shirillas, I mean, even more, like, that's one reason I hold on to the Watts case. I think it's a fascinating case. I absolutely believe in the issues of justice, but they have been such a good teacher of those concepts I was just talking about. But now that we move over Shanann, Chris, Watts, we now have the Shirillas. And because they are all now living now in an actual, still functioning, organic family unit, who has a chance at having a continuing story in this life, I think that it's important to me, and I think it's important to us as a true crime community and as a society. I feel like and partly because of my profession, but also just as a human being, I feel like we have a responsibility to help see this through now, because we all have a sense of how not okay it is. And so many people, and not people in the mental health field, just, whatever, all are, experts at, if it's not that, people are picking up on this in a really profound way. And it's just really important to me. And I think that we have to help these people. If we don't help them, and we're seeing it so blatantly, we're not going to help our neighbor when they need help. And that is my whole fucking point. We need to know how to help ourselves, and we need to know how to help each other, or we should all just go dig our own fucking little holes.
Yeah.
And my hand is raised.
Die. Right.
Yeah. Sorry
my
for
hand
this
is raised.
much, but
because they seem
Hello.
And this is right in my backyard. I literally right in my backyard.
Yeah, I hear you, honey bun.
Oh, I'm like, my hand is raised. Y'all looking over me
I'm sorry.
You're...
Go girl. I didn't realize that.
Jesus, what do I got to do to get a word in here?
I'm
joking. I'm joking.
Live facilitator.
No, for real though. I kind of, so from experience, I'll tell you why I want to see, true justice happen in the real form, is because I went to jail. I was in jail for about 5.5 months with my lawyer, who did not know jack diddly squat, or wasn't willing to know. On my case, kept telling me that I was going to get 10 years when clearly I had spent the last 5.5 months in jail. So bet your booty I was at the law library looking stuff up. So if it wasn't for me on my own case, working it, I would have been gone for 10 to 15 and he would have never even blinked twice and would have been just fine with it. I fired him and represented myself. Now I ain't no smart like cookie or anything like smarty pants or anything, but I valued my freedom. And my charges aren't like her charges. I understand that. But if it wasn't for me fighting for myself, I had inadequate counsel. And it wasn't right. If he wasn't willing to fight for me, I didn't deserve 10 years. I'm a decent person. I got mixed up in some stuff. I didn't deserve 10 years. But you know, it's just how it happened. He wasn't going to try to get me anything less. So that's my own personal experience and why I would like to see every individual in America get the same, you know, right to counsel, good counsel as well, you know. Anyway, that's
Right,
my
honey
story.
bun.
No, absolutely.
And I'm glad that you did.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
Screw
saying,
that guy was dumb.
Well, Honey Bun is one of those super rare people, and I mean this with my whole heart, not just because she's here and, you know, I love her. But she and I have talked about this many times. As I got to know her, I was talking earlier about the percentile of a minority. It's so sad of the people that go through our justice system where the point is rehabilitation. That is the ultimate goal and, you know, restoration of the society. And like a nil of these people are actually rehabilitated. I can promise you, Honey Bun is one of the rare, amazing people. And it takes to be able to be rehabilitated that way because it's not really designed for the best kind of facilitate the best kind of rehabilitation. You have to be an amazing person. And Honey Bun is one of the very few people that was rehabilitated in ways like you never see by what she went through. And I think you're amazing, girl.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me cry.
Aww.
That's
hey,
so
we all
sweet.
deserve a second chance.
Yeah, I really
absolutely.
did. And I was ready for that second chance. It was not I fell in love with a drug dealer. I'll just be honest with you, okay? So I just thought that he was the coolest thing in the world and I just got mixed up in a bunch of stuff and
anybody can get mixed up in it.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm going to tell you something. I ran from it. I mean, it took 2 times of me getting in trouble, but once that was, I got a divorce and it was over with, you know, and I just really wish that it wasn't like this, but 2% of people recover and stay recovered. You know, you're never fully recovered, if that makes any sense. I'll always be an addict. And I'm okay with that because I know where I came from and I don't want to, you know, I don't want to go back
smoker. This is very low level.
That's serious.
Somebody said to me, you can't turn a cucumber back into or you can't turn a pickle back into a cucumber.
No, but I look at people because I went to prison and I while I was in there, I met people that one old lady in a walker, she shot all 3 of her grandkids execution style. But just for being half black. Okay. I'm not I'm looking at her like, what a sweet old lady, you know, and everybody's like, no, you don't understand. She deserves to be here. And I'm like, wow. And I look at people differently now because of the people that I saw, and I look at them and they're just people. They're just people that done some heinous things, yes, but you never know what's in the mindset of somebody in the moment. And I don't mean to go on a rant, but I got one more little story. I had a friend that went to prison for 11 years for killing her little baby. Now, this is the situation that she was in. Her old man was actually beating her in the back of the head with a baseball bat because the baby was crying. She said, I'm trying. He said, no, shut that baby up. And she put her hand over the baby's mouth, and that was that. And do you think that man should have went to prison? Absolutely, but he didn't. She did the time. But you never know what's going on with somebody. And that's why I try to stay as open-minded as possible and why I choose not to judge right off the rip. you know, because I have seen a lot of decent people in a lot of bad situations, and
Yeah.
my heart goes out to them. And some people are just cruel, and some people are not rehabilitatable, and that's that. But I just choose to see them for what they're worth. But I try to love people, because you just don't know. You have no idea. And I don't know
No,
what was going
that
on.
I understand.
Yeah. And
It's
that's
just
where
that
I'm
when I
coming from when I
see
talk.
a 20-something brat, okay, we're not somebody that was brought up as, you know, in a harsh environment or anything. She was a brat who always got her way. And she grows up. Oh, she wants a handsome young, 19-year-old at the time or whatever. And his mom's a lawyer and whatever. And he's handsome. And she's chasing him for about a year. And he's blowing her off for about a year. And she finally gets him to pay attention to her. And then she's chasing after designer labels, and he's buying her this and he's buying her that, and he's treating her great. And then she's bouncing her parents out of their master bedroom. Okay. And then she's getting him to buy her Balenciaga bags, which Balenciaga is a label that shot children, and they were shooting, I hate to say this, but child pornography. Okay. They were promoting that, and a lot of
Ew.
people stopped following that. But Mackenzie wanted that Balenciaga bag, and Dom was buying it for her. He was buying it with his drug money. Yeah, he was selling drugs. Yes, he was. But he
It
wanted to
doesn't mean
move
he
on to
deserved to
something
die.
bigger. Yep.
He doesn't, but hold it, wait, I'm
And
sorry. Just because YouTube is always on my ass because I cover the Watts case, we just speak.
Oh shit, I forgot.
It's okay. I just have to be careful of saying too many like hot button words.
I did. I
sorry,
said it like 14 times.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not like that for everyone. I'm sorry.
I know.
It's
I
not like
forget.
that.
I think we're just talking on the phone sometimes.
I know. It's okay. It's all right.
did I say something wrong?
No, you're good. You're good.
Little
Okay.
things like we have to use like little, innuendo.
Well, I'm just saying she loved Balenciaga, and Balenciaga was promoting SA.
Right. We're not gonna. Yeah. Don't say the CP thing. Like, yeah. I get like I get community.
No, and I don't think
my channel gets.
I don't
sued
think
for it.
Mackenzie was aware of that at all. I don't think she was smart enough to know that, but that's true. And Dominic was buying this for her, okay, throughout 2021, 20, whatever. And yeah, she booted her parents out of their master bedroom, and she moved in there so that she could have that walk-in closet and everything. And she shot all her TikTok videos and everything. I just got caught up with this because it's disgusting. And she manipulated him, and I didn't see any bit of remorse after that happened. And I
Oh, thank you, chat.
Excuse
me for all the sweet things you said. I appreciate it.
I just think after what happened, and I think what triggered what happened is that she realized Dominic was about to just dump her for good, because it was a long time coming. From what I saw in the text messages that are released for public knowledge. I mean, what her parents are saying, how close they were, how in love they were.
Well, that
I
all goes
don't.
back to that whole like psychology thing and the being able to identify like mental, imbalances and people in
Mhm.
crisis. Because this goes, this exactly what you're saying is
Yeah.
someone with a borderline personality disorder. That is their greatest fear. That is like the end of the world for them. That is the thing that they will at all costs avoid. And I think that is exactly what happened that night in that car. I think that she realized he was really trying to break up with her. That
Yeah.
was Mackenzie's greatest fear. Every
Yeah.
time he tried to do that before, she used
Yeah.
threat and aggression and manipulation and
Yeah.
violence to control him. I think she was doing the same thing that night, but thinking she'd
Yeah.
always have the same results as before, that she would do something that was so outrageous. And she felt it. It was when she did those crazy things, it was it was the what looked like rage that was driven by the intense fear that comes from the that comes from borderline personality disorder. I'm just going to say it like that because it gets
She
complicated.
threatened to do it
But
before. Yeah.
yeah, well, it could be
She did.
anything. But she was like, she'd do something extreme to take control, and every other time
Yeah.
it worked. And so she did that extreme, and it satisfied a few things. It satisfied, satiated her urge to fill that void with something dramatic and extreme, which was her doing something as crazy as accelerating the car that fast and being that reckless. That's why borderline personality has such reckless behavior. And every other time, the result that she got, and thanks in part to Natalie and Steve's cameo appearance and her fucking every scene of her relationship with Dominic, making her think that it was all being held together just fine when it really wasn't. She just always expected she'd get the same results because everyone around her manufactured, they made it so the same results would be yielded because they were so afraid of what would happen if Mackenzie didn't get those results. Like I just said in the comment, like I said, the mom didn't want Mackenzie to see a discovery. There was too much truth. Natalie desperately tried to hide Mackenzie at all costs. Natalie's first fear was the breakdown that Mackenzie would inevitably have when Mackenzie had to face who she really was.
Reality.
So when everything wasn't all good and peachy keen and sugar and spice and everything nice, mom and dad would, they would stage it. They would make it so. They would be like, close the curtain quick, do a like scene switch, make it all poppy fields and roses. So Mackenzie could not imagine anything else happen. And that is really the biggest, this to me is the culmination of the whole thing. I don't think I would have been able to find Mackenzie guilty of murder because I do not think that Mackenzie Shirilla was capable of fathoming the outcome that most of us, understand is being logical and rational from the actions, behaviors that Mackenzie exhibited on that night because she has never had to face the real consequences and ramifications of her own behaviors because everyone has been shielding her from it. So never did she think when she did that, it would end up in her, Dominic, or Damien dying. And that is why this whole family dynamic is so important. And until I think a lot of people are realizing it, but until this family realizes that they're not to be blamed for the murders, but the part that they had in creating that person who became incapable of understanding the natural consequences of your own action and fucking life you have to live of every moment and every day. And what bigger a failure as a parent could you achieve than that? And look at the result.
But is she a danger, Kelly?
Fuck yeah.
So does she belong in society? That's my question.
That's a really big question. I do not have the answer.
That's what I mean. Should we let her?
I don't know. We'll talk about that down the road. I'm still dealing with the issue of how this
that's my only
appeal worked out. Cause and then, we have, but then, what should have happened in the trial and yeah, this is my opinion. I think many people agree with me. I know that this is not like an opinion that is uniquely my own, but this is, what should have happened at trial is the defense should have picked up on all of that. They should have, I mean, just looking at, I have the discovery file that the defense attorney had. I had it. And if any of you want it, you can go over to Patreon and pick it up. It'll be there.
Oh, her defense lawyer, Kelly, was horrible.
He was horrible.
He was completely incompetent.
Wait, let me finish this though. He was definitely
That's
incompetent.
okay.
But he was privy to all of the information, all of the behavioral, all the medical, all of the disciplinary records that you will be privy to, and I'm probably even more. And being privy to that, being an attorney who has to construct a defense for somebody who's being charged with 2 counts of intentional homicide, you got to put a hook somewhere. And if it's not in the pot that she was diagnosed with, I was shocked to find that out. And he didn't bring up any medical witness attesting to that. Even if she wasn't diagnosed, I was saying, Cuff, you could find some, like fucking like trial floozy. He would have gone up there and said something that would have been believable and probably could have fooled a juror into reasonable doubt, even if it was bullshit. But then looking at all of those records from her past, anybody who's gone through, the first semester of law school, because I had, and I wasn't a mental health professional then, would have known that your defense right there was a rare, legitimate mental health possible insanity defense. And you would have, you would have sunk your teeth into it like, a freaking filet mignon. So the fact that he didn't do that, what the actual fuck? Now, in the rest of this interview with Chris, Natalie, and I want to talk about this more. I mean, there's like a lot here to talk about.
Yeah.
She says, and I believe her. I watched this interview a few times, and I wanted to go through a statement analysis that I did with, the statement analysis kind of, I'm trained with the cognitive behavioral therapy statement analysis. I know some people on YouTube go into really tricky stuff. Like we have my buddy Veriscope, who's like my idol, but there's some very basic things you can find. I do not believe that she was lying about that. I believe she is completely truthful when she says that she didn't understand and the process, and she didn't understand what was going on in the courtroom. She and Steve weren't in the courtroom because she was a witness for the state.
No, I don't think I don't think they understood.
Steve was just kept off the basketball court because the bitch can't block or make a basket or pass or do anything right. And I think that she is, I think she's just starting to realize it after, the appeal was lost. The Supreme Court denied hearing the case. She's just realizing like, fuck, man. Like,
ignorance,
all of that go by.
Ignorance is not an excuse.
I let it all fuck up to the point where there is no turning back. And I believe her. It's not an excuse, but at the same time, that defense attorney had a responsibility to Mackenzie, and as she was a minor when the crime happened,
to defend her vigorously, right?
To her family, to defend her fervently and vigorously, and part of that is educating your client and the family members that they tell you as your counsel have interest in their case, and that certainly would have been her parents. And he failed miserably at all of that.
He did.
It's not okay.
No, it's not. There's just too many people out there saying that the Russos had something to do with it, and I don't agree with that either.
No, that's bullshit. That's founded in nothing other than dumbness. Sorry,
it's just their ignorance.
Anyone, but yeah,
the
Russos didn't put their thumb on the scales of justice here. They, their son he had this tragic death. All they're doing is fucking grieving and reeling. And whatever Dominic did or they did in their lives, if they're a lawyer, if they're a fucking drug dealer, if they're on my street corner every night selling meth at midnight and heroin at noon, I don't fucking care, honestly. Like, it didn't have to do with the outcome of this case.
Right. It doesn't. And there's a lot of people pushing back on that. And that's why I feel horribly for their family. But
yeah. So all right, I am going to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
It's
interrupt
just that
you.
I feel for his sister, and she's really pushing for because Miss Mackenzie is out there, and she's still on social media, even though she's in quote unquote prison. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like a little retreat out there
Right,
in
right,
Marysville, Ohio.
right.
She's not
And
really
I respect
serving
whatever
a tough
Christine.
sentence.
I respect. I feel so bad for her. I think she's amazing. I respect whatever she does. I had a couple exchanges with her, and I know that, she's. I love that
You should
she's
have her
pushing for
on,
the
Kelly, because
law.
she's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know she's done a lot. She has her own channel. I don't know if she needs to. I mean, I'd love to have her on if she wanted to, but I don't. I wanted to have a conversation with her. That
I
was
know
on
you don't
a
do
different way
interviews,
than.
but yeah.
No, I love doing interviews. I just don't go because I want to be able. I mean, I would love to do those, but the way my channel has been, I do a lot more like
I know.
edited, created content than live
Yeah.
streams. And to me, the importance of connecting with her was to have a real human to human conversation. I didn't want her to feel like I was angling towards, commoditizing her or anything. But
Yeah.
but I wish for her that and I think she took up a good cause for sure, and I understand how it would happen, and maybe I would do the exact same. I could never pretend I know what it's like to be in their shoes, but I don't want them to get too hung up on, the Mackenzie being on social media, because Dom's mom even said the trial, that's not what's real. Social media has made a joke of Mackenzie. Social media has made a joke of her son and his death.
It kind of
So
is, but ever since this Netflix movie came out, that's when all this shit
right, sure,
started.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
really became rampant, and I'm
Yeah.
sure that's really hard for them to deal with. And I can't imagine what kind of, what
Because they're
interaction they're getting
destroyed,
every
and
day
her
'cause of
dad
it.
is not doing good, and she even said
Mm.
that he doesn't know if he's going to make it to the parole hearing, so he's already written letters ahead of time for them to forward. And
Absolutely. I mean,
it's sad. Yeah.
I can't imagine. I just can't
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, if were no like serious pre-existing health problems, I mean, I'm thinking of two people that just came to mind right now that when they're around Dom's age, like young adult child, died tragically,
Yeah.
died of a
He was
broken
20.
heart. I believe,
Yeah. But it's there's no wins. She just lost the appeal, which was kind of good news. I think that was her last one.
It is. It's done. The only legal recourse she would have, and now, is if the Supreme Court took interest in it, which is, your chance
federal.
of becoming an NFL player who makes it to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
has like greater odds. Seriously, I mean, it's
Good.
like it ain't gonna happen.
Because I personally just think she's such a danger and menace. Like, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't be let out of prison. You should not be let out into society then. You're a danger. Sorry.
Yeah.
She's not showing any signs of rehabilitating and remorse she already has 36 infractions in jail. So it's like you're not showing any.
I agree with you, but kind of, I guess, like the underlying sort of point of what I'm talking about with what like we have to handle this family, we have to handle the justice issue is
I know.
She could have had a chance. Her parents didn't allow her to get to know herself, so she had a chance to be herself and deal with herself. And then the justice system is not allowing her to see herself for who she is and her standing in society as a free or not citizen of society that's guaranteed that right in the Constitution to have that knowledge and have that guidance and that counsel and that defense. She has not been given any of that. And I'm not saying, oh, poor Mackenzie, because I mostly can't stand her, but she is a human being, and I see her as one of, the people
because she's doing those infractions herself. Like nobody
is doing those fractions herself, but like But she, like, the whole, everything that has supposed to guide her properly has shown her
That's true.
The consequences of her actions, no
We'll
matter
have no.
how fucking selfish and outrageous and egregious, are always going to turn out just fine. And now
I
look
guess.
what's happening. It's a turning
Well, she'll
point.
be in jail the rest of her life then. I hope she knows that. The judge said that as much when she was sentenced.
I don't know. I'm not like,
yeah, I mean,
I don't have my crystal ball.
and then
She
her
said she
parents
could
just,
be.
her mother just keeps saying, oh, it'll be okay. No matter what, it'll be okay.
Well, so then let me ask you this. If you're done wrong by the people closest to you in your life and you're done wrong, or someone close to me, I don't want to make it like personal, but I'm just saying, like, I try to think about like this for myself. Or and then you're done really wrong by the justice system, you know, do you want me to just say, well, let's just let Julie rot in jail then? Because, you know, she doesn't have a chance now because everybody that was supposed to support her and do right for her fucked up. And I'm mad about it. And I want the people who are supposed to do right for her to fucking do right. And I think as a society or as a human being or a mental health professional who's seeing this happen to her, I wish I could help her. Would you rather I just said, oh, fuck her, let her rot?
I mean, at what age am I? I mean,
I don't know if it matters. I mean, we can get to the
by
minutia
the time
of it. You know,
you're,
are you straight? Are you transgender? Are you gay? Are you fucking queer? I don't know. I mean, to me,
I'm
you're a
straight.
human being. To me, you're a human being. And so is Mackenzie Shirilla.
Yeah.
That's how I look at people. I mean, she's done horrible things.
I'm very liberal. Look,
her.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a Democrat liberal, but yet I was brought up by Republican parents, and I was brought up to know.
If I felt comfortable talking about politics, my own on YouTube, I would say that I would relate to you, but I'm not going to say that because I'm afraid people are just going to come.
I don't want to get political, but it's like I was brought up to know that you don't act a certain. That, you know, I was brought up to know consequences and to be accountable. Like if I broke a neighbor's window, my mother wouldn't say, "Oh no, Julie didn't do that." She would say, "No, Julie, you did that." Huh?
And I was brought up to know right from wrong too, and I didn't always like it.
My mother would say, "Oh, Julie did that."
And you know what? And if Mackenzie Shirilla had my dad and my mom, you know, here's the thing. This is kind of what I'm saying. We're all human beings. If Mackenzie Shirilla had my dad and my mom raising her, would she be more like me or more like who she is right now? Because I can tell you, Mackenzie and I don't have a lot in common. I can relate to a point in my life where I was considering, do I want to tell these stories on my channel because they're very personal, but luckily I had good guidance in my life. I had my parents being the way they were. I had to get very intensive therapy because I exhibited like some very unstable, controlling, not quite like Mackenzie Shirilla. But I said to my mom one time, do you think if like I didn't kind of change that route, I would have been diagnosed as bipolar personality disorder? My mom's like, oh no, Kelly, no way. And I didn't say anything to her, but I was thinking, I said,
our parents don't know nothing about that.
No, my mom does. She's a mental health professional. She's actually
really? Okay, you're lucky.
So I'm like, that's my mom. It felt clear to me that was my mom not wanting to think that she raised a daughter who could have ended up, you know, having that. But I think I had the potential to have, I think I could have had the potential to become a much different person. And I feel very grateful that there were some circumstances that were available to me that were. So this is my whole point. If those things were available to Mackenzie, maybe she would have turned out more like me. I'm not fucking perfect.
It is sad, Kelly.
But I'm not gonna, you know, drive anybody into a brick wall because I'm in an uncontrollable rage at 100 miles an hour and kill them.
That's my point.
But you know, maybe I would have if I didn't have the structure in my life that I did that helped me not become that person That's my point. So it's very deep for me. It's all very deep and important for me. So.
And then there's another thing. You could raise two kids the same exact way. One kid
Right.
can be horrible, like Mackenzie, and one kid could grow up wonderfully. You just don't know. I can't explain it. I can see with her parents that she turned out the way she did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a whole other avenue. It's really interesting. I used to read about child psychology when I was a real little kid. But at what point do you stop? At what point are people just not rehabilitatable? At what point can you give up?
In the profession I'm in, you can't really believe that people are not rehabilitatable because
you can never give up on
your
them.
job. You can't. It's my job to not give up on the most challenging people who have gone through the hardest things, who everyone around them has given up on. And it's why I do my job, and I will never give up on those people.
Hard.
I made that commitment when I understood those people were out there, and I
respect
them well, and I will not give up on them. And and that's what I don't know Mackenzie, but as far as justice goes, and as far as her being a human being who should be treated like you and Honey Bun and myself, and I will stand by that. And I see that she hasn't gotten those things that I would want for you or Honey Bun or myself. And I'm not fucking okay with it. So I'm going to keep talking about it because that's what I do here.
No, that's fine. It's just, I think she's so dangerous and I wouldn't be comfortable.
She's horrifically dangerous. Should she be let out of society now? Fuck no. It's a shame that she wasn't put into some kind of custody long before she was, but what it should have been, it's a shame
that she wasn't given a heftier sentence than she was, because I'm not comfortable knowing that in 15 years or less than that, she's going to get parole.
Why are you not comfortable with that? Why are you,
because I don't think she's rehabilitatable. I don't think in 15 years she's going to, all of a sudden be rehabilitated.
I don't either. That's why it's so important that right now, while we're all talking about this and looking at it and having an honest conversation, that we realize the critical nature of helping this family and correcting the injustice that we're seeing happening in our judicial system, whether we fucking like Mackenzie Shirilla or not. And on that, I'm gonna have to go because it's been over 3 hours and I'm really
That's okay.
It's 1:30.
That's fine. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming up. I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Thank you for having me.
It was good. We had fun. Sorry I've been so silent, but y'all are like chatty Cathy's.
Dude, I'm glad you called that fun. I'm fucking exhausted. I'm just kidding.
Me too.
It wasn't not fun. I'm just really tired.
It's just, this case is hit a nerve. But yeah.
Oh, I totally didn't mean that in a bad way. I love it. Y'all talk away. I'm good. I got plenty of dogs.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Wait, I just have to read this. Hold it. I read a couple comments. So AJS Dream, welcome. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Says, usually I like your ideas and discussions, but I will not watch you if you have Natalie Shirilla or Steve Shirilla on. I'm done. Take the time and really research every part of Mackenzie Shirilla. She's nothing but a spoiled, nasty brat. Well, damn, that's what I've been doing with the past several months of my life, actually. And earlier I said, I do not want to ask them for an interview because what I want to do is be cognitive behavioral therapist is to help them as people in a family, get on the right track somehow, because what is happening now, whether we like them or not, or whether Mackenzie is the fucking Antichrist in flesh, and she might be, I don't know. Like my professional like obligation, responsibility, and commitment is to, when I see like this right in front of me, and I can see a few paths to at least doing something helpful, like I'm gonna be there. Like I'll go into the den with you, and I'm not gonna leave until you're coming out too. And that's just who I am. So if that makes you not want
It's your due diligence. I mean, you have all of the tools and things to help them. I mean, it would be a disservice not to.
Right.
If you had the
Yeah, I just want
opportunity.
people- I'm just trying to share the perspective I'm coming from, and I'm not saying that you specifically didn't understand that, but I think, just like Natalie wants, Dominic and Mackenzie's text to be put into context. This whole discussion for me really needs to be put into context. But I'm being serious about that, because all of these things we're talking about are all of the reasons this channel exists, and it's continued to exist for 5 years, even when I'm a million times been like, I'm so fucking over it. You have no idea, because most of you have no idea what it's been like. Oh my God, the things, most of them, honey bun. But it's important.
Word.
It's important. And so thank you all for being part of the conversation, because it's important conversation, whether you agree with whoever or not. I mean, really, that doesn't matter. The conversation only happens because people have different perspectives. But I think that the fact that so many people are showing up for the conversation and are, caring about the things that we are talking about is like awesome. And hey,
Yes.
Daniel, by the way, I saw you meant to say hi a few times, but Daniel, guess what? I'm off for 2.5 months starting today. So we really are going to plan our live stream. Daniel and I have been planning to do a watch live stream like forever. And it hasn't happened. My throat really hurts. I got to go soon. I'm tired. Where is he? Oh, Daniel. Okay. Do you have anything else to say? No? Anyone? Oh, if anyone was with me anymore. Okay, guys. Well, everyone have an awesome night. Thank you so much for being here. I was going to do a live stream tomorrow night, but I don't know if I'm going to have the steam to now. What is it, Friday night?
We have some cool stuff in the making.
Oh, we do. Oh my God. We should have talked about that forever ago. You and I have to talk about that more like tomorrow. And then the beginning of the next live stream we'll talk about. But tell them what we're doing.
So we're going to get together and come up with some really cool merch stuff for you guys, because we're so excited.
We have a few tentative plans. We've been looking into things. It's like for real in the works. And now I actually have the time, because I've never had 2.5 months off before. I've ever told you guys that. So we're super excited about it. And Honey Bun is our graphic designer for this channel. She's so talented. So what I need you guys to do is leave comments or email me. I'm going to put a poll up either right after this, or if I just like basically go pass out, I'll do it tomorrow. On the community page, I know like over the years, people have given such great ideas for merch, and like, especially like kind of funny, like Watts things or just true crime things. Your wish is our command. So let us know. And
there's no say leave Jim alone. That's already in there.
Oh, I mean, it has to be in there.
Yes, it is. It is already in. I'm almost tempted to put the 401k in there too.
I know. I want to somehow capture her like it would have to be like a graphic, like, a still image where she's like, I didn't know, that whole thing.
Yeah. Oh, or when she says Shanann's name in the chokehold.
Yeah, I know. We need to merch it. We need to capture that spirit. We need to, and it has to be funny somehow, because it is funny. She's a ridiculous human being.
Absolutely. I mean, if we stayed serious about everything that we talk about, we would go crazy. We have to find some type of humor in it. Absolutely, to be able to speak about these things for real. But we want everybody's opinion, ideas. I mean, we're open to suggestions and stuff, but or like ideas, because right now I'm really into making koozies. I don't know if y'all like koozies or not, but I really think we should have koozies.
I fucking love koozies.
They're the best.
especially.
But I've been
before
making them. I've
summer.
been pumping them out 50 a day.
Especially
But I've
before
been making them. I've been
summer.
pumping them out 50 a day.
Whoa! It's like Koozie Central over there.
Yeah. I've been doing some stupid koozie stuff. I've been putting ducks on koozies. Oh God.
Oh wait, hold it. If I email this to myself, I can show them. I have to do that though.
Oh yeah. I did send you pictures.
Um,
I'm a koozie addict now. I've transformed.
wait, hold it. Give me entertain the crowd for a minute, honey. I have to stop talking. Put my mic down.
All right. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal. Sorry. Anytime anybody says entertain, I'm like, I go for the frog every time. I can't help it. And I know I'm no American Idol, but baby, I just did that.
You're so funny. That's why I love you. Oh my God.
I walked in a second ago on my chihuahuas locked up.
Oh, what? What'd you do, Chihuahua?
Yeah, they were locked up. They were making dirty.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, I walked in and I said, you dirty. And I said a few choice words and then I just had to walk out. And so I'm outside my bedroom right now because I can't even look at them.
They were just getting it on. They're like, Mama, now we're going to take over your bedroom. You're going to go sleep in the guest bedroom now that we're doing this.
Oh, Lord, I am Mackenzie Shirilla's parents right now.
Can start calling you Natalie.
I know. Oh, my God. I'm going in there and whipping their butts right now. I will not be a Natalie.
No, you could never be a Natalie. All right, here, let me get this. All right.
Oh,
come on, do not let there be a lag in my email right now. You know how much I pay for my fucking Wi-Fi? It cannot be.
You're doing great, Kel.
Thank you. Download. There we go.
You ever seen that movie Little Giants?
It sounds familiar, but
it's got that little snotty kid. He's real skinny, real
baseball or something.
He goes,
okay.
I'm gonna pump. He hits his chest. Boom, boom. You up? Yeah. I think about that.
What made you think about that?
Because I was over here looking at some exercise equipment and I was like, man, I want to, but I'm scared of you.
Oh man. Oh my God. Now that I have this summer off, we can do our little like video workout things we were talking
about. Yeah, girl. I look, if Little Caesars don't pick up and move ship, I am gonna get fatter.
I'm going to move Little Caesars for you.
Oh God, I gotta do something. I mean, my butt, we're almost in the 3XLs. We can't do that.
All right. When do you want to start?
Oh, do it now.
Well, not now. I gotta go to bed, honey. But
I was just trying to see where you were at. I was like, if I can get her to say no, not now, maybe she can say no, not now next time too. I'll be like, I was gung ho the whole time, Kelly. It was you that bailed us. I need someone to blame.
Let's see. What about tomorrow or Sunday? Pick one.
Yeah. I mean, you got.
And then after we do this a few times, I mean, I can do videos too. I used to do yoga and Pilates vids. That's something I did for a while too. I owned a yoga and Pilates studio for 12 years in Philadelphia. It is something I do.
That's so super cool.
Yeah. But then
I've never been a yoga. I don't know if that's a word, but
like yogi, oftentimes it will be said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never been one of those. All the little the Pilates and stuff like that. I just did. I did Richard Simmons Sweating to the Oldies.
Oh, damn, girl. Okay, you're like, that's not yoga. But I get it. You move. That's good though.
I did that when I was like 5 with my grandma.
I did too. I remember that. Richard Simmons with his awesome hair. Okay, here we go.
Yay! Those are my newest ones. Look.
Those are so cool. Imagine, guys, it could say you could have a duck. You could have like the like tie dye or like Jeeps, whatever you
Oh
want.
yeah, I
Like,
can do
she's like Little Miss
anything.
Jeep. Or it could be like fucking leave Jim alone, and it could be like
The brown
um,
bikini.
the brown bikini. Yes.
Yes, I have it already saved. I'm ready for this.
We need to. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna write this down. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that Little River Canyon Jeep Outfitter Jurassic Park looking one at the top. One of my customers created that one. That one is not my graphic. That is I did a
Which one? Oh,
contest with
cool.
all of
That's
our
cool.
customers, and they came up with that one and the duck driving the red Jeep. The rest of
Oh,
them are my
wow.
designs, but
Huh. That's really cool. I like the ducks the best.
I know that one little cool duck right there in the middle. He's the bomb.
You know, it's awesome. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. I'm gonna have to wrap it. Oh, you know what? I just always forget to check my like. Sometimes I get Cash Apps and PayPals, and I didn't read them during the live. I'm sorry for those of you who I did that too. I actually have a list of a couple people I have to read. I'll have that ready next live. Oh, good
Oh,
Lord.
this is funny. Valerie said, I have, oh, wait, no, ballerina. I'm sorry. It says whenever I try to do yoga, I just devolve into doing my ballet stretches.
Oh no, but ballet and yoga like do have a lot in common. I actually kind of got into yoga because I used to be a dancer. Okay. I just thought I don't know
do
what it is, but I
ballet.
guess
Okay, I watch Dance Moms. I know it's not the same, but I feel like
and then
it.
I was doing just before I started my yoga training. I started New York. I was doing the New York City Ballet workouts at the New York City Ballet. Do you know how hard that was?
Oh, I'm sure New York's probably got a great
Our little
set of
ballerina.
ballet people.
Oh, God, I can't read right now. Say our ballerina's name.
I set it up.
I'm just gonna call you our ballerina.
Yeah, I have to.
Have you ever done the New York City Ballet workouts, ballerina? They're awesome. Oh my God, they're kick-ass. Ooh, they're hard.
Oh, Cuff
Okay,
said check
good.
your email.
I just saw it said show honey bun. I will. Oh, true story. I'm in the title sequence. Oh.
Wow.
Wow. That's amazing.
I tried to show my husband a pirouette the other day, and
Wow.
I did a
very
spin
cool,
out
ballerina.
backflip or something. I couldn't. I didn't have any balance. I was like, because he kept saying, "What's a pirouette?" And I was like, "Oh, let me show you." And I forgot that I gained so much weight, and I was like, "Oh, this is not going to work out." Yeah, I just fell on the bed. I was like, "This is that. That's what it was." Yeah, look
I'm
it
sure
up.
you hit all the technical aspects of it as well.
Yeah, I said, if you really want to know, just check out the Google.
Oh wow, that's so cool, Sarah. That is so cool. Do you have like anywhere where we can see you? Do you have like a web page or YouTube or anything? Oh my God, that's so cool.
Cool.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm totally gonna check it out. Hey, would you email me, ballerina? Here's my email, please. I have an idea for you and a question too. All right. There's my email. Awesome. That's so cool.
I made a skanky empanada design.
Oh,
I actually did.
cool.
Yeah. So we on the same wavelength.
Nice. Awesome. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I'm like really tired. My throat hurts. Like things are deteriorating quickly here. But thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to do a live tomorrow night, or I feel like it's going to be Sunday night at this point because I'm really fucking tired. But be looking for it, okay?
But a poll for
sure. I love it when you guys are here. What? Oh, a poll for sure. A merch poll for sure. And that's it, dude. That's it. Did I tell you I'm fucking off for the summer as of a couple hours ago? Lay off, okay? Stop assigning me the tasks. I'm just kidding.
Party. The good kind of party.
I'm just
Party.
kidding. Yeah, party.
Party like
woohoo.
we're not gonna do anything wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Party like it's 1999. I did.
Yeah. Back
Okay. Yeah, let's
then.
not talk about that.
28.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that. Okay.
I think we're both tired. It's getting weird.
All right. Before I disclose any personal facts, we're going to beep, 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 beep. Everyone has an awesome night. And remember, whether you're Mackenzie Shirilla or the Pope who graduated from my alma mater, you're still a human being, and you know, we have to. You deserve certain things in life, and this case, I think, represents those common human rights and sort of expectations I think everybody should be able to have without fucking turning into Mackenzie Shirilla. So as exhausting it is, we're going to keep talking about it. And I hope you have a great night. And please remember this weekend to do something good for yourself. I mean, you don't have to do something so cool as to like take off the whole summer. I mean, but yeah, but you can if you want. Come hang out with me. But do something good for yourself because you totally deserve it. Whether you're my school buddy, the Pope, or my ex-boyfriend, Chris Cuomo, or Mackenzie Shirilla. All right. Love you guys. Everybody take care, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Quack, quack, quack. Quack, quack.